Hello. What's up this morning, everyone? Welcome. Uh-oh. Mono green. I don't know why it's bouncing like that, but welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big tube share for you. Thank you. What is up? The Junagro. Chomp. Lord Bowl, Still Rain Productions. Jay Cullen, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big tube share for you. Thank you. Cyber Kill Nose, Ear J, Slayer Celtic. How is everyone doing today? Hopefully, everyone is having a spectacular day. And today, we're going to do something that we have not done in quite a while on this stream, which is we are going to play a little bit of Rhinos in Modern. So yesterday, we had a ban list update, which I'm curious what everyone's thinking about the ban list update. Waiting for more players. First time sub, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you. So yesterday we got the big ban list update. No changes in standard. Pioneer, Core Steel Cutter, out of here, which honestly, I don't know why they didn't ban that like 6 months ago, but sure, that's fine. Should be gone. Modern is where we got the big changes. Flage, banned. Lotus Field, kind of out of nowhere. Was not expecting a Lotus Field banning, but I'm glad they did something sort of to try to power down Amulet Titan a little bit. Lotus Field banned, and then unbanned Umezawa's Jitte, one of the most iconic equipment in Magic's history, although I am just not sure. Actually, I am very convinced. I am very convinced that Umezawa's Jitte is just stone unplayable. You want a hot take? I don't even know if this is a hot take. If they just printed Umezawa's Jitte or Raph's Jitte into standard, I'm not convinced it would be good. That's how different the world where Raph's Jitte or Umezawa's Jitte was than the world that we live in now. So I have zero faith that this card is actually good. Doubly so in Modern, because Modern just isn't typically about combat with little creatures, I don't think so. So very skeptical that Umezawa's Jitte is actually going to be good. They also, for some ridiculous reason, unbanned Violent Outburst, and that's a card we're going to start playing with today. We're going to see. So if you don't know the story of this card, Violent Outburst, 3-mana Cascade spell at instant speed. It's good for one thing, which is letting you cast Crashing Footfalls, letting you cast Living End, the 0 mana, no mana value cascade spells that you can cascade into. So they banned this because Rhinos was super busted only 2 years ago. And now 2 years later, is there enough power creep that Violent Outburst is fair again? Is it still going to be broken? Was it a mistake to unban Violent Outburst? I am actually not sure, but I think it is possible that this was a mistake on banning. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see just how busted Rhinos are in 2026 today. That is our goal for today. Hey, what's up, Vilik? How are you? Good to see you. The only deck in Modern that plays smaller creatures now is Energy. Yeah, I mean, Energy's gonna have to diversify a little bit without Flage. I'm glad Flage is gone. Flage was just too good. Hey, Tuka buddy! It is a Modern stream day. We got a ban list update, so it's Modern stream day. We're gonna play some Crashing Footfalls Rhinos and see what happens. I dislike Outburst ban. Force of Action protecting Euro combo is toxic. Yeah, I mean, that is the problem with this card, right? Like, the rest of the Cascade spells are sorcery speed, which makes them a little bit fairer, but like Violent Outburst being instant speed is such a ridiculous boost to power compared to the other options. And the Force of Negation thing makes it even better. Other bannings, Undercity Informant, gone in Legacy, Oops All Spells, too good, too annoying, too consistent, too whatever. Also just very fast, so getting rid of it fast, like, kind of jank them out combo deck, makes sense to me. Bonder's Ornament, I'm curious, do we got any Pauper players in the chat? What do you think of the Bonder's Ornament unbanning? Like, does this man, to me, when I read Bonder's Ornament, it doesn't seem like the kind of card that would need to be banned in a format. It's a 3-mana rock that for 4 can draw a card. But I never played with it in Pauper, so maybe it was like super busted in Pauper. I do know that Pauper is a very grindy format, and things that generate card advantage can be very powerful, so maybe the pay for draw a card is just OP in Pauper. And then Surveillance Cam. Wizards cannot get out of their own way. So they printed Broken Vivi. Then they rebalanced Vivi on Arena to have a tap ability for Alchemy. So now, instead of just making the mana, you gotta tap it to make the mana. But it turns out that Vivi tapping is actually kind of busted with things that untap Vivi. So now we have reached the point where we're banning Surveillance Cam. I mean, only in Alchemy, so for the dozens of people who play it, I guess maybe it's an issue. But it is only in Alchemy, but still, it is funny that By trying to fix VV, they actually broke it in another way, which is kind of hilarious. Oops All Spells was popular as the cheapest deck. Sadly, the people who invested in other decks are the ones who dislike the non-games. Yeah, I mean, that is disappointing to see one of the cheaper decks get hit by a banning, but hey Seth, I know you don't follow hockey, but sorry for Buffalo's disappointment yesterday. Also, wasn't Ornament banned to stop Tron? Probably. I mean, I guess Tron would be the deck that could easily pay the 4 to be able to draw a card. Binder's Ornament was banned because of Tron's popularity at the time, but Tron is no longer tier 1. That makes sense. How was Vegas? Did you guys record something this year other than the usual podcast? So this year was a little weird. So we only did the podcast. Richard not being able to make it because of the baby kind of threw off our recording stuff and some of the equipment that we bring. So we managed to do the podcast still, but we didn't get to record other stuff at this Vegas. But next turn, I think next year it'll be back, I think, with Richard there. If you want a 2-minute explanation of why the legacy ban was needed, check out this video. Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of legacy players talk about it, and this was a card they were talking about, needing to be banned even before the ban list update. They all seem happy about it, so I'm pretty happy with, because the legacy players are happy, I am also happy with that banning. I don't play enough legacy. Like, I like legacy. Every time I play it, I have fun, but I just don't have enough. I don't have enough playtime in legacy to really have super strong opinions about the ban list at this point. Just watch round 1 of that deck. It's crazy. Wait, round 1 of what deck? Oh, Oops All Spells? Yeah, Oops is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. MTG with Mikey G. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big subscription for you. Thank you. The other news before we get into this, we have a leak / spoiler from Star Trek. We're looking 6 months into the future, but it looks like they must be preparing for some sort of event or con or something, because we got an oversized Captain Kirk boldly going. And it cracks. See, I'm not a Star Trek fan. I always thought that boldly going where no man had gone before was talking about, them going to space and flying around. This art, though, sort of gives me a different impression of what that means. It kind of looks like Captain Kirk is boldly going right there on his captain's chair. So was that what the show was about? Was it about taking dumps across the universe? Because that's what I see in this art. The card itself, 4 mana, we get 3/4 vigilance. Spacecraft creatures get +3/+3. So Edge of Eternities giving us the plants of the spacecraft to get ready for Star Trek. And then when it enters or attacks, search your library or graveyard for a basic land or a card named Starship Enterprise. Reveal it, put it in your hand, and then shuffle if you search your library that way. You should try we have Riddler in this list. We do have Riddler in the list. So I don't know, it's gonna be interesting. So what this tells us is we're getting Commander precons with the Star Trek set. We didn't know that for sure. It makes sense that we would. It also appears that this is not the face commander of the precon. So I think that it's probably the spacecraft themselves that are going to be the face commanders. So like Starship Enterprise is going to be the face commander, and then Captain Kirk is going to be one of the backup commanders. Grabbing a basic, it does help, right? Being able to grab a basic is huge because you might already have Starship Enterprise, or it might be your commander. So it'll be interesting. It definitely seems like it's supposed to tie into Edge of Eternities. Maybe we get some outer space synergies. The card itself, I don't know. It's fine, I guess. Like +3/+3 is a lot, but how many spacecraft creatures? We'll have to see what the new spacecraft look like. Basically, if we get a bunch of cheaper spacecraft, it's gonna get better. I'm putting together an all-white border commander deck to be potentially proxied. It's surprisingly hard. Half of the cards from back in the day have paragraphs of errata attacks or hidden creature types I have to account for. It's brutal. Yeah, that is. That is the challenge of using old cards. They say that reading the card explains the card, but that doesn't actually work anymore. Still got to station them to get the +3. I mean, we'll have to see. So with our current spacecraft, that's true. I don't know. Maybe the new spacecraft will work differently. Like maybe they crew in a different way. Maybe you turn them on a different way. It'll be interesting to see what they do. Any spacecrafts played in Standard? No. The spacecraft that exist are just not very good. Honestly, I'm trying to think, are there any? What is the closest spacecraft to being playable in Standard? I mean, some of them, I don't know. Like the 1 mana ones, I've seen Lumincrest figure it before. Bessie's play. Synthesizer Lab Ship, I've seen a couple of times in artifact decks. Oh, the Saramea used to see playing Kona decks. Kona's kind of shifted to a different kind of deck now, but there was a time when this was, you get this to tutor up the Kona, then you can tap the Kona to station the Saramea to get it tapped to put something big into play. So that one did see a little bit of play in Standard. So I guess there's been a few that have seen fringe play in Standard. I don't think all this spacecraft definitely have to be this, necessarily have to work like this, though. Kind of like we talk about with battles, how some battles could be different, and then maybe you attack them in a different way, or maybe you defend them or something. Maybe there's a different way that they do spacecraft with the new set. I don't think that every spacecraft in Magic is necessarily going to be like, station, do this. Extinguisher, we have played. I love Extinguisher, because it blows up lands. I haven't really seen, I mean, maybe some random brews people playing it, but it hasn't really become like a competitive Standard card yet. It's just 8 mana is kind of a lot for our current Standard. So anyway, that is Captain Kirk boldly going. I will also just do a little tiny bit of complaining. It's another Real People on Magic card. He's not eating a sandwich, which I'm kind of disappointed, because if he was eating a sandwich, he could make it in my deck. But yeah, more IRL people in Magic cards. Anyway, what are we doing today? We're gonna find out if banning, or unbanning rather, Violent Outburst was a mistake. We're gonna try out Rhinos, 2026 Rhinos, and honestly, even though this deck was only banned for 2 years, we actually kind of have a lot of new additions to the deck. Like, the core is kind of the same, but we have stuff like the new Evoke Elementals seem really great in the deck. They're too expensive to cascade into, but we can cast them on the cheap. Quantum Riddler, we can warp it. So we have this nice, like, mid-rangey plan if the game goes long. We also have just all kinds of, like, Fire and Ice, Dead Gone, removal spell that doesn't ruin the cascade. But if you don't know the deck, the idea of this deck is actually, like, super straightforward. All we want to do is cast Crashing Footfalls as much as possible. Crashing Footfalls, 0 mana to make 2 4/4 Rhino creature tokens with Trample. In both of our Cascade spells, Violent Outburst, Shardless Agent, guaranteed to spin into Crashing Footfalls every single time. We also, and this is actually super spicy, in the sideboard, we got some Inevitable Betrayals. So if we run into some Emrakles or something, we can do the bribery and bring in that to cascade into instead of cascading into the Crashing Footfalls. But we basically want to see, I actually think there is a chance that this was just wrong to unban. Like Richard mentioned on the podcast yesterday, if you listen to the podcast, kind of the issue, sadly there is not a Twitch overlay for Moto, unfortunately, no. One of the downsides of Moto streams, it's one of those cards Richard mentioned on the podcast. It tends to either be broken or unplayable. And Violent Outburst is kind of like that. It's not a card that you ever like, oh, I'm going to put it in my deck because it pumps my creatures and cascade into a 2-drop or something. Like, you're never going to play this card fairly. It's either really strong as a combo piece, or you don't play it at all. So I don't know if that's the kind of card you want to unban. Although, honestly, after how the last unbannings worked out, I kind of want to give Wizards a little bit of benefit of the doubt. Like, I was very skeptical of Mox Opal unbanning, and in the end, after they banned Underworld Breach, I think unbanning Mox Opal actually made Modern better, so maybe they're right. It is also just wild. If this is safe for Modern now, what that would mean is we had such an insane amount of power creep in the last 2 years that we went from a format where Violent Outburst needed to be banned to a format where Violent Outburst is perfectly fine. And that's almost scarier than it not being good. Like, if we just end up in a world where this card is fine now, that would mean that the power level of Modern increased a huge amount in just 2 years' time. But when was Fury banned? It was around, let's see. So I believe that Violent Outburst was banned just before Modern Horizons 3. It was at the end of the Modern Horizons 2 meta. When was Violent Outburst banned? What is the actual March 2024? So it was actually a couple of months before Modern Horizons 3. It was like the last round of bannings before Modern Horizons 3 came out. They banned it. It was the only card to get banned at the time. What did they say? It's banned. In our previous Modern update, we removed Fury and Up the Beanstalk from the environment Doing so has returned Rakdos mid-range to an acceptable level. It's funny that they call Fury up the Beanstalk Rakdos mid. Yes, Rakdos mid-range, where you scam your hand on turn 1. That sounds like Rakdos. To an acceptable level without deleting it from the metagame entirely. Since then, we've seen Team Rhinos, Living Yawgmoth, Amulet Titan, Isn't Murktide rise in metagame share. More recently, players have had some success with Leyline of the Guild Pack from Murder Sakarlov Manor, and Domain Zoo, Rhinos featuring Sign of Zerako and Leyline Binding. Over the past regional championships, Team Rhino has begun to approach previous levels of Rakdos mid-range metagame domination. While we want to preserve the Cascade strategies as viable options in Modern, we'd also like to remove one of the more powerful aspects of this strategy, namely the ability to cascade into a payoff at instant speed. Casting Violent Outburst during opponent's turn reduces a lot of the risk inherent in such a strategy. It allows a Cascade player to untap with all their mana open and Rhino tokens or cycling creatures ready to attack. Both decks also include Force of Negation, which costs 0 mana on opponent's turn, enabling a streamlined defense of the combo. So Violent Outburst is banned. Removing Violent Outburst from the format will necessitate Cascade players adopting Ardent Player Demonic Dread and force them to play their own cards more often, weakening both of the strategies and reducing them to acceptable levels of metagame share, much like Fury did before to Rakdos midrange. So in 2024, 2 years ago, it was way too good. So we'll see. So we can Violent Outburst into Umezawa Jide. So that's a plan for this morning. We're going to see if Rhinos is as busted as we think they might be. Also, a reminder, next week, viewer battle stream. So if you have not signed up and you would like to viewer battle, all you got to do is send me an email or a message here on Twitch. Let me know that you want a viewer battle. Let me know what format you'd like to play, and let me know your arena info. But you might be able to, I always say this. I always say, oh, you might be able to sign up the day of. Honestly, I don't know if we've ever had a viewer battle stream where it has actually worked for people to sign up day of, because usually we have enough people that have signed up ahead of time that there's just not enough time to get to the people that sign up day of. So if you want to play, I would encourage you to sign up ahead of time. If make sure you get on the list. Is this the second time it's been unbanned? So Violent Outburst was always legal, and then it was banned in 2024, unbanned in 2026. So yeah, it had never been banned before this. What do y'all think of Umezawa Jite? Like, is Jite actually, is there any world where Jite is a playable card in 2026? Like, any world at all? It makes me sad. It makes me sad that Umezawa Jite, I think, is unplayable. It is just so hard for me to imagine, like, spending 2 mana on an equipment, spending 2 mana to put that equipment on a creature, and then attacking with that creature to get value. That seems like, when you look at the Modern metagame, like, you look at Modern, you're looking at, okay, you got Boros Energy, you got Affinity flooding the board with creatures, so I can use my Jite to snipe some 1/1 tokens or something. You got Ruby Storm that's just going to try to kill you on turn 3. You got Amulet Titan, we'll see if the banning slow it down, also trying to kill you on turn 3. You got Goryo's Vengeance trying to reanimate huge things on turn 3. You got Belcher trying to combo off on turn 3 or 4. Like, I just don't know what Jite does in this meta. Like, if somehow we end up back in a world of, like, fair Modern, where everyone's playing Boros Energy, or, you know, some sort of merfolk, some sort of fair creature decks, then maybe you Stoneforge up a Jite and go to town. But just looking at the metagame, I'm like, what does Jite even do? Like, what? I'm not even, here's what really has me skeptical of Jite, is I was looking at Hammer Time. And Hammer Time is the most obvious home, right? You already want a bunch of equipment. You're already playing Stoneforge. You're already playing Pure Steel Paladin. And I look at Hammer Time, and I'm like, if I put an Umezawa Jite in this deck, how often would I tutor it up? Like, are there actually going to be scenarios where I'm like, you know what? Instead of a Colossus Hammer, or a Shadow Sphere, or a Leyline Axe, or a Boots, am I actually going to get Jite? And I feel like the answer to that is going to be not very often. Like, yes, maybe some percent of time, but I feel like the answer is going to be not very frequently. So I don't know, if this league goes fast, maybe we do a test of Jite and Hammer Time, or some other shell. Do you think they're going to ban Cub in Standard? It's the main reason why Green is good in Standard right now, but it's just so dominant. I feel like they won't ban it because it's a big card out of Avatar is the main reason to keep it going. Hey, what's up? What's oh no, I can't see the name. I need to be in dark mode. Why am I not in dark mode? Where's dark mode? Dark mode. I still can't see the name. No Makadu. How you doing? Welcome. Do we keep this hand? Yes, we have Violent Outburst. We will keep. So do I think they'll ban Cub in Standard? Yes. I cannot. I mean, with 3, unless they change Standard rotation, which I hope they do, but I don't know if they actually will. Maybe they won't. I really hope. But so will they ban Cub in Standard? It is really hard for me to see how a card like Badger Mole Cub can survive in Standard for 3+ years. Like, maybe they haven't banned it yet. They also didn't ban it in Pioneer yet, even though it's like 50% of the meta almost or something. It's like ridiculously busted in Pioneer. So I think that it will inevitably get banned. It is hard for me to see it living its full natural life and making it all the way to the end. It doesn't seem possible to me. On Standard, I have mixed feelings on Standard. Like, I'm not sure that bannings can fix my issues with Standard, which is I feel like the whole thing is just too big and too powerful and too fast. And I'm not sure that removing any individual cards is going to solve that, right? Like, what colors do we need? So if we take a Surveillant, if we take Hedge Maze here, then we Vibrance, get a land, and then we Violent Outburst the next turn with Counterspell backup. That seems pretty good. So let's take a Hedge Maze. Yeah, let's take a Hedge Maze. Do a little Surveilling. Subtlety, gonna go Graveyard. Then we will untap. Oh, we have a bunch of gift subs from Wee02, handing out gift subs to Galaxy, Blarger, Sheen, Devor, and 30 Terrasite. Welcome y'all to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. And Wee, thank you for thank you for handing out all the gift subs. Big scoop cheer for you. And also Raging Goblins for the 14th month. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big scoop cheer for you. Thank you. I think we just go Stomping Grounds. And then we can green, evoke a Vibrance, get another land. And, I mean, that sets us up to do some Violent Outbursting next turn with Force Backup. So we will just take a... What do we want? Blue-green. Take a Misty. Yeah, let's just take Misty. I think that's fine. Take a Misty and pass the turn. And, all right. I mean, we're set up for some Rhinos. You know, this also means that Restore Balance might actually be good. Ooh, weapon. Oh. Ooh. Do we have to counter this, chat? Weapons manufacturing probably got to get countered, right? They don't have force. So we can just counter this and then just make Rhinos during our turn? We do have to pitch the Wistfulness. Oh no, did the sub message get missed? I see, let's go from Raging Goblins. Yeah, I think we counter this. I think we counter it. I don't like pitching the Wistfulness because the Wistfulness actually seems really good, but I think we counter it. Then I think we just main phase. I think we just main phase do it. I think we just Misty Rainforest, Crag Misty Rainforest, grab an island, and I mean, do the thing we came here to do. I know we could do it during our opponent's turn, but then they could theoretically counter it. I feel like it's safest just to do it now. I don't think Affinity can play Force. All right, make some Rhinos, pump some Rhinos, pass the turn. Can you beat 2 4/4s? Oh, let me see. Maybe it doesn't work with gift subs. Let me see. Hey, Seth, I've been watching you for 4 years now and finally caught the stream. Nice to see you play. What did I miss? Hey, I don't know why that didn't pop up earlier, but I'm sorry, Wee. Thank you so much for the gift subs. You have not missed much. This is our first match. First game. So we have just started to make our Rhinos. They play 2 on the sideboard. Yeah. Sideboard makes sense. Opponent's going to Shadow Sphere, make a 1/1. I mean, opponent's down to 3 cards, so I shouldn't be able to go that hard here, right? Weapons manufacturing is actually kind of annoying. Although that also is going to blow up their tokens. So opponent got to pick up the Emissary. Well, we just need more Cascade spells. Fire, Ice. Well, I mean, go to combat, hit you with the Rhinos. Opponent, going to take the beats. Down to 11. What if fails? Pass the turn. Shadow Sphere, yeah, it might actually just be better than Jitte. And it's only 1 mana. It is only 1 mana. Found it. Thoughtcast. Is there any way we can keep our Rhinos alive? Not really, right? I was wondering if we could, like, ice the land, but then they just happen in response. So, opponent, I'm going to draw some cards. I mean, they are going to have to use this explosives, right? Like, these 2 drones are not going to beat the 2 Rhinos. We just need 1 more Cascade spell, I think, to be able to close this out. Yeah, but the E doesn't need to tap. Opponent finds a Urza's Saga. So they can activate it even when it's tapped. To just pay 2 sack it. There's a couple of different ways you can win. Some are like weapons manufacturing, Arcbound Ravager builds. There's also Kappa Cannoneer builds. Some kind of hybrid of the 2. But it's usually a combination of, like, make a bunch of munitions, sack him to Ravager, or make a fast Kappa Cannoneer and smash your opponent. I wonder if it'll make a... Oh, we can try to make Restore Balance work again. Wait, what am I getting punted for? What did I do wrong now? Opponent hits us. Well, let's get another Surveillance land. Grab us a Thundering Falls. Get rid of the Scalding Tarn. Untap. Cascade. Wistfulness. Okay. Well, I mean, go to combat attack. I wish we had 1 more mana now. If we had 1 more mana, we could full price Wistfulness. Opponent's going to sack the EE. Blow up our board. I kind of want to wait till we draw 1 more land. Let's just pass. We're so close to having the full price Wistfulness. Oh, wee. So I actually spent 2 days last week trying to set up the stream so it would work on YouTube and on Twitch at the same time. And I got a little bit closer, but I did not figure it out. So yes, I would love to do that. So here's the main issue I'm running into is, yes, the legendary test stream. Yes, some of you are here for that. It wasn't supposed to actually go live. It was supposed to not go live, but it did actually go live. Oh, weapons manufacturing. Okay. I feel like we need to ice something here to draw a card. We just really want to, well, okay, Shardless Agent makes Rhinos. That is good. That is good. We'd still take a land. Land? That's a land. Okay. Oh, this is really good. So I think Wistfulness is just better. Because we can go green, green, blue, blue, whatever. This has got to be better, right? Blow up the weapons manufacturing, make a big body. This has got to be. I think this is actually better than making Rhinos, which is kind of crazy. But we knew Rhinos next turn. We really want to get rid of the weapons manufacturing. So exile weapons manufacturing. Wistfulness. I mean, Wistfulness, one of the cards that did. Ooh. And that's a force. Okay. Weapons manufacturing down past the turn, and things are looking good for the Rhinos. Opponent. I watched a Jim Davis video where he said basically thinks Rhinos were never good. I mean, I think Rhinos were really good before they got banned. I think there were times when they were heavily played and not that good, but I think right before the bannings happened, I think Rhinos was legitimately very good. Wait. Did you see the X-Wing stamp leaks that someone posted online? Hoax or wait, I don't even know what is X-Wing stamps. I haven't seen that Cook TDH. Do you have a link? But yeah, so all that to say, the goal is to have the stream go on both. I just haven't figured out how to merge the chats is the issue. There's tools that are supposed to do it, and I haven't been able to get those tools to work. So that's kind of the sticking point right now. But yes, the goal is that we will stream on both. I did see the Captain Kirk. Uh-oh. Kappa Cannoneer? Alright. Kappa. Sure. Opponent makes 5-5, and opponent passing. Oh, and that's a violent outburst. Oh my goodness. Well, let's go to combat. Get in with a wistfulness. Hit ya. Found it. Gonna trade it off. That is fine. We will accept. I think we gotta do it. I think we gotta dismember it. We should have just done this earlier. We should have done this earlier and just gotten in the damage, I think. I think it was a mistake. I was hoping they would just not block with it, but I think it was a mistake to give them the opportunity. We should have just killed it and hit him for 6. This did get rid of the Welding Jar, which is something. And we still have our Wistfulness, and we still have double Cascade Spell, so it's fine. Yeah, the Ward 4 is annoying, but now our opponent they have 2 lands, a Shadow Spear and an Opal that's not even on, and we have a 4s. They can't even play another Kappa Cannoneer. They can't even play their Pinnacle Emissary, so I feel like we're in a pretty good spot. Never mind, I was looking for a link. I saw people saying it was a misprint from the printing press. Yeah, you never know. You never know with the internet. Just ignore the YouTube chat. So I considered that, but my problem is, for me, the entire reason I stream is so I can interact with all of y'all. Like, that's the whole point. So I feel bad if I fire up the stream on YouTube and just don't even see the messages or have the ability to interact with anyone. I actually thought about just switching to YouTube. What do y'all think of that? What do you think about if we had to choose one? Is there any world where just streaming on YouTube would be better than streaming on Twitch? For you personally. Opponent, land, Pinnacle Emissary. Sure, we cannot counter that. Opponent, gonna pass. I mean, rhinos are coming, though. Rhinos are coming. We're all shardless. Well, let's go to combat. Get in with a wistfulness. Head ya. Opponent, gonna take the beats. Down to 3. All right, pass the turd. And we will see the power of Violent Outburst, I think. Like, this is the reason it got banned, right? Instant speed Cascade into 2/4/4 rhinos, plus have Force of Negation backup. Found it. I mean, the best case scenario is that I still figure out how to do it on both. Like, that is the best case scenario. And then people just have options, right? And then you watch on either one. I know there's ways to merge the chats. I just haven't been able to get them to work yet. Sad News Bears for the 76th month. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super, thank you. Yeah, those would have been trying Nitros, but I haven't actually got them to work yet. Opponent, are we getting in with Emissary? No. Well, okay. End of turn. Tap 3 and Violent Outburst. I wonder what we will spin into. And opponent does not want to find out and scoops it up, and that went pretty good. How often do you buy pre-con decks? If they made pre-cons for non-commander formats, would you buy them? Banana Wing. So I occasionally buy pre-cons for commander, where it's something that I like. It's a commander that I like, or it's got good reprints. I occasionally like to also just have a pre-con around where sometimes when I go to like a Magic Con or something, there are people who only have precons and they want to play precon power level. So I also like to try to bring a precon level deck or literal precon deck with me to Magic Con for those games. So I do buy them on occasion. Wizards has tried multiple times. Reindeering for the 13th month. Welcome back to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Wizards has tried multiple times to make precons for other formats. They made challenger decks for a while. They made dual decks for a while. They made the modern, what was the modern one called? I don't even remember. They made a couple of modern ones at one point, like a black white tokens ones. This was like early 2010s. So they have tried. The problem that usually happens is when they make a precon for a 60 card format, they're too stingy with the cards they put in it. So you essentially end up with like a version of a tier deck that's missing like some of the most expensive or powerful cards, or you get one copy of like the busted top end, you know, big expensive finisher instead of 4 copies. So they've just not made them good enough. If they actually made like good precons for other formats at a good price, maybe they just all get scalped up and it wouldn't work anyway. But that would actually be something I'd be interested in. So I think that I'm on an event deck. That's what it was called. That's what it was called. But yeah, so I think that's the issue. And the biggest difference we need to bring in, let's see, 2 Brotherhood ends, 2 Force of Vigors. Go down what? We can probably go down Endurance, right? Graveyard Hate doesn't do anything. We can probably go down. Does Dead Gone even? I guess it kills like a Ravager, maybe. Maybe we go like 1 Dead Gone, 1 Quantum Riddler. Actually, maybe 2 Dead Gones. Maybe we just go for the Artifact Destruction as our removal. That's... Oh, Blood Moon? Yeah, let's just try it like that. I think that's fine. Oh, that's the other thing, right? Like, I forgot about that, dog. That is a good point. Too late coming out. A lot of times it would be like, they'd print the Challenger deck, and you'd be like, oh, I remember when that deck was really good 6 months ago. But by that time, a couple more sets had released, and the meta had shifted, and it wasn't actually that good. So that was the other issue was the timing. Ooh, Emery. That is a good point. Emery is a non-artifact too. Ugh, we got to ship this, don't we? 1 land, 1 keep. 1 land, 1 keep. Why Rhinos over Living End? The actual answer to why Rhinos over Living End, Violent Outburst good with both of them, but the main reason I want to play Rhinos is Rhinos hasn't been a thing in Modern, and Living End has been a thing in Modern. So I wanted to try the more rogue of the decks, essentially. Does Wizards even play test cards before they unban? Seems like you just play test and realize if something is good or bad to unban. I would like to think they do to some extent. Ooh. All right. All right. Well, 1 land, 1 keep. 1 land, 1 keep. At least we have the Force of Vigor. Does that mean we have to keep crashing Footfalls? Do we have to keep crashing Footfalls specifically just to pinch to the Force of Vigor? Maybe, actually. Oh, yeah, they do some, like new player precon decks that are not designed to, like, necessarily let you go play a tournament, but let a new player be introduced to the game. The other thing with standard precons, hey, what's up, man, OVHS? I'm doing well. How are you? You know, let's put, you know, Fire Ice Pit. You know what? Do we put Dismember to the bottom? Because this pitches to this. This pitches this. We want this for Rhinos. All right, I'm gonna put this. I don't know if this is correct. We're gonna put Dismember to the bottom because of all of our free spells. The other problem with precons for other formats is that Commander is kind of unique because it's a casual format, so there's not a lot of pressure. Well, okay, so we need to force that. Pitching the Fire Ice. Because that's going to stop our Rhinos, and it's going to stop this Force. Oh. Do we blow up those artifacts or don't we even care? We have talked about doing Plane Chase Commander Clash. I guess we just wait. We have talked about doing Plane Chase Commander Clash. Well, okay. Okay, new plan. Rhinos coming in a few turns. I guess we take Stomping Grounds. All right, just how we drew it up. The old suspend a crashing footfalls line. All right, in 4 turns, Affinity, you better look out. The opal's not even on yet, though. If it was on, the value would be higher, but they don't even have enough artifacts to use it. Ooh. All right. That might be enough to make me want to do it. No, we're going to wait. We're going to wait. The Bobble's not that good to blow up. Wow, opponent doesn't even sack their Mox for mana. They just immediately crack the Bobble. Plays his team vent stepped. All right. All right, Magic Gods, land. Land, Magic Gods, land. Please, please. Come on. Come on. Well, okay, Dismember. I mean, that's castable. That's something that's castable. So yeah, I think a Plane Chase episode of Commander Clash. Wow, opponent is really desperately digging to try to find who knows what, something. Okay, Magic Gods, land. Subtlety, okay. I mean, we're not drawing lands, but we can cast most of our hand because it's all free spells. I'm planning on testing Jide in the sideboard Asimic Birthing Ritual. I think it will be good against grindy creature decks. So what decks would you be targeting, Patrick? Like, is there any matchup in specific you're like, oh, I cannot wait to play Jide against? Opponent. There's the Ursa Saga. Well, okay. So hit you. Pitch. Oh, it's got to be Violent Outburst, right? Because we want this to pitch that. Yeah, all right. Pitch the Violent Outburst. Oh, no counter. Oh my god, that's a blowout. That is a blowout. That is a blowout. And the Rhinos. 2 turns. The clock is on. The clock is on. We draw Brothers, so then we can't cast it. That's okay. Rhino suspended. No Vexing Bobble, please. Please. Not a second Vexing Bobble. About it. Oh, another Urza Saga. Okay. Not great. Not great. And about it. Emissary? Gotta be Pinnacle Emissary, right? Pinnacle Emissary. Sure. I mean, we are going to dismember it. I can't believe we're kind of in this game by being stuck on 1 land. So opponent's going to pass. All right, let's dismember. Get rid of the Pinnacle Emissary. Untap. Well, here comes Crashing Footfalls. See if they got a force and a blue card. Rhino time? Rhino time. All right. Pass the... Still no land. Still no land. Hey, what's up, Soul Savage? How are you? Found it. Urza Saga taking up. Come on, Rhinos. Found it. Land. Found it. Skateboard. Sure. Gonna try to haste things. Man, if we can just draw lands, this hand is so good. This hand is so good if we can just draw 2 lands. It's so good. Found it. Oh, thinking about Urza Saga-ing, maybe? Like, this Brotherhood end actually just ends our opponent. But that requires... If we can find 1 land, we can get a Surveil land to try to find a second land. All right, opponent. I'm going to make a construct. And equip the construct. And are we getting in there? All right, I mean, we will trade. I think we might as well just kill it. It puts us down a Rhino, but sooner or later, we're going to cast the cards in our hand. Lands will come. Ooh, okay, Mistrise Village. Getting closer. Getting closer. Get it at you. Found it. Down to 16. They can make another construct token and haste it in. Oh, we're a fetch land away from feeling good about our lives. Found it. Yeah. Construct. Sure. Tutors. Do they have a second Vexing Bobble? If they have a second Vexing Bobble, that's actually kind of bad. Hey Seth, I have a cool version of your 1,000-year storm deck for Historic with Arcane Bombardment. Is that something you'd be interested in playing? Sounds like something I'd be interested in playing. Yes. I would. You should send me a deck list. I'd love to see it at least. Opponent. Also the Shadow. Okay. If we draw a fetch land here. If we can draw a fetch land here. If we don't draw a land here, we're going to die to this construct, sadly. Opponent hits us down to 6. Land. That is all that matters. We need to draw land. Magic Gods, please. And not a Surveil land. Oh, please not a Surveil land. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Well. Wait, my mic sounds different? Interesting. Next week is Viewer Battles. Not this week, next week. So we're just dead, right? Like, I mean, I guess we can try to chump and maybe live. It is unfortunate that we just cannot find a land. Maybe your ears are different. maybe your ears are different, Carlton. Oh, pound it. Gonna crack the bobble. I mean, in theory, we survived this turn. I think this is actually just, I mean, our opponent hasn't run great, but we just have not been able to cast our spells, period. Opponent. Weapons manufacturing. Well, that probably means we die, even if we survive this turn. Engineered explosives on 0. Makes a weapons manufacturing token, and that actually makes us dead. All right. Yeah, because the explosives can blow it up. That was brutal. That was not a land. No. Wait. Really? How many lands are in this deck? 23? No, that is so unlucky. Oh my goodness, that was so bad. Oh, did you see Ben Bateman's interview with the head of Arena where he talked about a Commander multiplayer format? I did not see a Ben Bateman interview, but I have heard WotC Arena people. So maybe I should have let him see it. So essentially, the weapons manufacturing makes a munition token. Then when it goes to the graveyard, deals 2 damage. So yes, it would blow up their token, but they would just hit us with the token for 4, and then EE blows up the munitions for 2, and that's 6. So I totally believe it. The only thing is, I have heard Wizards talk about. I've heard them talk about multiplayer on Arena for a long time now. I'm saying, like, I feel like they first mentioned it like 6-7 years ago, like a long time ago. So my hopes are not incredibly high that we're gonna like. Ugh. Do we even keep this? This hand seems very mid. I mean, the forces are okay. I mean, I guess Wistfulness is kind of good. We just don't have any Cascade stuff, but I guess like we can force something. Pitching Subtlety. We can Wistfulness to blow up. Yeah, I guess we keep this. The Besage's on. Yeah, all right. I guess this hand's fine. It just doesn't have any of the Cascade stuff. I am on my phone. Can I email you the deck once I get home? Oh, yes. Of course, we. Yeah, whenever. Just send me an email. Not a big deal. Also, I mentioned this before. If you want to sign up for Viewer Battles next week, send me an email, send me a message here on Twitch, and get on the list. Well, let's Misty Rainforest go. Opponent's keeping 7. I mean, Affinity can get off to some really fast starts. Spire Bluff Canal for our opponent. So we can't let Vexing Bobble resolve. We can't really let Weapons Manufacturing resolve. We can let Shadow Spear resolve. That one I think is okay. Well, Misty Rainforest, snag us a I guess a Thundering Falls. Island of the Graveyard. Untap. God, so many subtleties. All right, Breeding Pool, tapped. I don't know if we really want this many subtleties. This is a lot of subtleties. Do any modern decks play Mutagen Man? Not really. I've made some brews with Mutagen Man, but not as far as like actual tier decks. Vexing Bobble. All right. Well, that has to get forced. Opponent's gonna Mystical Dispute. Ugh. I mean, it has to get forced, right? Yeah, all right. Another force. No, we will not pay. All right, come on, deck. Cascade Spell. Cascade Spell. Fire Ice. That actually might be fine. If we just ice this upkeep, they can't trigger it, right? Ugh, we do need to play the Beseiju, sadly. All right, let's play Beseiju. Stop on the upkeep. I think we just ice the Urza Saga. Draw a card rather than Wistfulness. Maybe next turn we have to Wistfulness, but let's ice down the Urza Saga. Okay, that's a land. I mean, the full price Wistfulness would be even better, but yeah, happy birthday, man, OVHS. Perfect. Wow, that's a lot of sagas. Oh, how about a force? How about a force of vigor? Force of vigor to get both sagas would be so good. Pellet skateboard trying to haste him up. Taps down the Thundering Falls. Sure. Pellet acid. Oh, we gotta wait, right? We gotta wait and just accept it. Oh, this is not good, but all right, Steam Vent's tapped. Yeah. I mean, this is all we got. We just have not hit a Cascade spell. I think hitting our land drop is too important to hold on to the Beseiju. All right, opponent. I'm going to do Saga things. We're going to have to decide what to hit with this Wistfulness. We can blow up the Construct. They're probably going to get Opals. So oh, gets a Bobble. Okay. All right, so they have a land so they can equip. Haste it up, hit us. If we can Wistfulness into a Cascade spell, I think we still got a shot. Oh, if they have a Mystical Dispute. Oh, my goodness. My goodness gracious. Lordy, lordy. Huh. 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 What does Brotherhood End mean? Hey, Mano VHS, I will make sure you battle next week. You're not gonna not battle on your birthday. If you were there, I will get you in. Huh. So the question is, do we just Brotherhood End now? Get the construct, get the equipment, they'll crack the bobble, but then they get to do this next turn. Or do we shock and wistfulness this turn? If they have another mystical dispute, they counter it. They haste it up, they get that. We take a lot, but then we Brotherhood End and are probably alive. I'm just worried about the counter. I'm just worried about, I don't know, just the fact that they're leaving up that flu mana makes me nervous because it seems so obvious, right? Like, you just put the skateboard on this and smash us for 5. Other than Mystical Dispute or bluffing Mystical Dispute, why not equip and get in 5 free damage? I mean, if it's Mystical Dispute, they can't counter the Brotherhood End. The problem is we're going to have the leftovers from the saga. So wait, okay, we got to think. Oh, construct math. Okay, so this is going to get another artifact, so it grows it to 5 power. They make a construct, so it grows it to 6 power. they equip the skateboard. So 7 and 6, that's 13. If we shock, we're at 17. If they play one more artifact, that's 15. So we probably survive. All right, we're gonna wistfulness. We're gonna wistfulness. I think we should survive, even if they have the counter here. The worst case scenario, I think we still live to Brother Seden next turn. I think, hopefully. All right, well, let's see. I think they got it. I think they got another mystical dispute, but we're gonna find out right now. Wistfulness. Do you got it? All right, opponent's gonna crack a bobble. And Metallic Rebuke. All right, sure. All right. So opponent did have the counter, not a mystical dispute, but the other one. That one could have got the Brother Seden too. Well, do we live? Do we live? Do we live? This Brother Seden is devastating if we live long enough. Opponent, Urza Saga. The other disaster would be if they get down a Kappa Cannoneer. Yeah, that one would have gotten either. That would have got the Brother Seden too. That would have got no matter what we cast. Yeah, we could have evoked it, but evoking it's so sad. It's just like, we want the body, we want the card draw. We could have evoked it, that's true. I just don't think evoking it's enough value. Like, just evoking it blow up the Saga when the Brother Seden can answer it anyway just doesn't seem that exciting to me. Well, opponent did... Oh, they have a Kappa Cannoneer too? Oh, that's really bad if it's Kappa Cannon. It is. Oh no, this is the worst case. This is the absolute worst case scenario. Because we cannot Brother Seden the Kappa Cannoneer. Oh, that very likely makes us die. Kappa Cannoneer is a ridiculous magic card. Opponent. Okay, trying to figure out how to cast their Kappa Cannoneer. Trying to figure it out. Yeah, I don't think evoking leads to us winning. It leads to us maybe resolving the spell, but the goal is to win. Oh, they do have a Cannoneer. That means this Brother Seden not going to be good enough, and they get to haste it in, and we take 11, and that means we are just dead. Well, oh man, game 2 was brutal. Game 2 was so brutal. I think we win game 2 like 90 times out of 100, and we just could not draw the land. This game, our opponent just drew all the counters. I'm not sure there's really anything we should have done differently there. I'm trying to think if there's any way we could have played it better. I don't know. I'm sure there's probably something, but I don't think we made any like super obvious mistakes. Hey Seth, I have one question. How do you deal with card requirements each week for Clash? Do you buy them or proxy them? Who pays for them? Or do you expand your collection constantly? Yeah, Cannoneer's ridiculous. Beseju the Saga. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's just hindsight bias or like recency bias, but after losing because we couldn't draw land number 3 last game, it's very tough to discard land number 3 to blow up the Urza Saga when we have a Wistfulness in hand that we can use to blow up the Urza Saga. But it would have got around the counters, so... Oh no, they had infinite, right? The Kappa Cannoneer had us, right? Did it not? Well, on to the next one. Because Kappa Cannoneer, so it was a 5/5. Yeah, I mean, I guess if they had literally 0, no more artifacts ever, that we could live one more turn. The actual problem is, though, there's just not a way to get out of it in that situation, right? Like, even if we cascade into Rhinos, we die. We don't have a removal spell that gets through the ward 4. So I feel like even if they had no artifact and we lived another turn, I don't think that actually gives us a pathway to winning. It might just give us a way to live another turn. Do we play this? Do we keep this? Rhino in hand's a little awkward, but turn 1 suspend Rhinos, turn 3 cascade into Rhinos. Yeah, all right. We'll try it. Nah, we're playing Rhinos. We're Rhinoing. So for Commander Clash, it's really a combo. We got decent collections. We have the ability to borrow cards. It's piecing things together in a bunch of different ways. So a combination of everything. Yeah, I think we just Misty get a forest. Yeah, let's get a forest. And suspended crashing footfalls, your go. What's your opinion on no bans in Standard? I've been playing the format for a bit, and I feel like it is too fast. It needs to have some action, but I don't know what it would be. That's kind of my feeling. So my expectation was that they probably weren't going to ban things. Though they probably weren't going to ban things in Standard. I thought odds were against, I would say, them banning things in Standard. And that's how it ended up working out. My personal vision of Standard, I think we just keep Quantum Riddler. We're not that far away from actually getting value out of it. My personal feeling in Standard is I would like a smaller Standard that's less powerful, less fast. The issue with bannings, though, is I'm not sure we can ban our way out of it. Needlescane, you're late, but you're still here. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super, thank you. I'm just not sure that bannings would solve the issues that I have with the format. Like, Opponent might be setting up to go infinite here, which is potentially a problem. Well, Rhino sticks down. We draw the Quantum Riddler. I mean, oh boy. Let's play a Scalding Tarn, crack a Scalding Tarn, thin the deck a little bit. Grab an island. I mean, we're going to do our thing, but if they have their second combo piece, it's not going to be enough. Crashing Footfalls. Make a couple Rhinos. And pass the turn. So is making 2 4/4s on turn 3 actually good enough for Modern in 2026? Maybe they did just power creep the format so much. Are we infinite? You don't play Devoted Druid unless you're trying to go infinite. So do they have it? I didn't know Devoted Druid combo was still a thing people did in Modern. Badger Mole Cub. Gonna do some Earthbending. Make even more mana. And Vizier of Remedies. All right, so opponent has successfully made infinite mana. Do they have a finisher for having infinite mana? What if there was a fast Standard that rotated and only had 1 year as a card? Would you play it? I think so. I mean, so especially if it was officially, where I assume it would be, all right, opponent does have a way to win the game. They're going to get a Duskwatch Recruiter. They can draw their deck, and good enough. So if there was a fast Standard that was officially supported, like there were queues on Arena that you could play and so forth, I would probably play that format. That's why I'm a little skeptical. Like, so I would like Badger Mole Cub band, Storm Chaser's Talent band, but then when I think about it, I'm like, would that even change anything? Like, Badger Mole Cub would change things. If you ban Badger Mole Cub, it would make the like Gearhulk Kabore decks just disappear. Landfall would have to change and it would get worse, but you might just end up in a world where it is only Izzet and there's no creature decks and it's just everyone playing Prowess or Control with the blue and red spells. So that would be the risk of banning Badger Mole. Then you can ban Storm Chaser's Talent. You should ban Storm Chaser's Talent, but does that actually even fix anything? Like, if you ban Storm Chaser's Talent, do you expect Izzet to get significantly less played? Like, I honestly don't. Or I saw people being like, oh, you ban some of the card draw, right? Get rid of Consult the Star charts maybe, or things like that. But then don't they just play more stock ups in flow states? Like, I think that the issue, and maybe this isn't an issue, maybe this is just change that I haven't come to grips with yet or come to appreciate yet. But the issue, quote unquote, I see with Standard is it's just so big and every slot is so redundant that even if you ban things, the next best thing is not that much worse than the thing you banned. So I'm not sure the banning's even, unless you're, taking the headshot and you ban Excruciator from Excruciator or something, I'm not sure the bannings actually would solve my issues of the format just being so fast and so powerful. Which is why I always come back to, I think the only realistic solution that I can see, I guess we just bring in the brothers hit ends. The counters don't seem good. Betrayal doesn't seem good. Bloodmean doesn't seem good. We just need to hit a removal, basically. We need to hit a removal. Maybe go down one Quantum Riddler. Maybe try something like that. Which is why I always come back to, I think you just need to shorten the rotation again, or like somehow have less cards in standard. Because to me, I think the things that awkward time for the Gemstone Caverns. But I think the things that I sort of dislike about the format are brought around more by just the pure number of cards than the specific cards. Opponent's playing Devoted Druid combo. Infinite Devoted Druid mana combo. Well, let's Hedge Maze. We will keep a Dead Gone, because that can kill things. And pass the turn. This Brothers Hit End could be a blood. This hand has much more defense than our last hand, which is good. You inspired me to go to my local pawn shop and Goodwill looking for cards. I spent $800, only made $300 back, but I had fun. Oh, I'm sorry, shenanigans. I do not want to inspire people to go blow their money on Magic collections. I apologize. Oh, I love opening collections, and I think they make for fun videos, but I do it knowing that I'm probably going to come out behind in the long run. Like the value comes from the fun in the video most of the time, not the collection. So I wouldn't recommend just buying a bunch of random Magic collections, because more often than not, it goes poorly. Found it, Malevolent Rumble. That's actually something. So I ran into Brad Nelson. You might remember Brad Nelson. If you were watching SCG Tour or Pro Magic in the 2010s, how could you not know Brad Nelson? But I ran to Brad at MagicCon Vegas at so I'm on the East Coast, so I'm on this super early. I always get up early anyway, but then it gets really ridiculous when I go to the West Coast and everything is just out of whack. So I'm up at 6 a.m. No one else is up. I'm up at 6 a.m. walking out the hotel, and there's Brad Nelson rolling in. Also up at 6 a.m. from the East Coast in Vegas time. So I talked to Brad for quite a while. We had a very good conversation, and oh no, this was in response to something, and now I can't remember. Oh, yes. We had a good conversation, but one of the things we talked about, it was in response to the being inspired by the video thing, but one of the things we talked about that was interesting is he talked about because he was a pro, and he said one of the things I struggled with at times was people are looking up to you and they're being I want to be a pro Magic player, and that can lead to them making poor decisions, right? Being a pro Magic player is not an especially sustainable career. You got to get really lucky. You got to be really good. It takes a lot of work. And something I kind of struggled with was I'm showing up in these, marketing materials and everything. Am I unintentionally kind of sending people down a bad path in some way? Do I bear some responsibility for that? And I was thinking about that with content creation too, which is actually kind of interesting, but it's kind of in a different way similar, right? If people watch the content creation thing and they're like, oh, I want to do that, I'm going to try to do that, they might end up losing money or making poor choices. Do I bear some responsibility for that? So it's interesting that comes up. Made me think of that with the buying the collection thing, but I think it's kind of an interesting topic. Oh, the last video we got so wrecked. So my perception of Goodwill is they don't know Magic cards. That is my perception of Goodwill. But that website where you can auction from Goodwill is all the Goodwills in the country can put their stuff on there. So I think that at least some Goodwills actually know Magic cards, because the way they set that collection up was very much like you would to bait someone into buying the collection. Not in unethical way, but just in a way that like you put the good stuff up front and like so forth. Like, and I know the rules of collection buying, right? You pay for what you can see, not for what you hope is somewhere in the collection. So I knew it was a risk going into it, but I was hoping that it would end up working out and they didn't know what was going on, but apparently they did. I mean, that's also probably an issue with Magic. Not even an issue, but probably comes along with Magic becoming more mainstream. Like, the more mainstream Magic gets, I was talking to my mother this morning, and I don't even know who these people are, but it's some political YouTuber or something that she watches. Some Worms chant, players can't cast spells. You gotta be kidding me. Okay. No way. But they don't have, do they have haste? Like, Devoted Druid doesn't have haste. So we can't subtlety, but can they actually beat us? But just speaking of how mainstream Magic got, like, I was talking to my mother randomly, and she was like, oh yeah, these, I don't even know their names, but some political YouTube couple that she watched. Yeah, I gotta be kidding me. You must be joking. We're super dead. But regardless, I don't even know who the people are, but she was like, oh yeah, they posted this video and they were at a Magic Con. They're actually, no, it's some, I don't know, it's like some couple and they talk to their parents about politics or something. I have no idea. I don't even know their names. But the point of the story was she's like, oh yeah, they posted this video and they were talking about going to Magic Con. And I was like, okay, that's kind of random. And he was like, yeah, they're like Magic people. No one I'd ever heard of before. But yeah, so it's just like that's how mainstream Magic is, that my mother, who knows nothing about Magic and watches her own world of, 65-year-old lady politics YouTube, is somehow getting Magic crossovers in her world, which I think is just an example of how mainstream things are. Like, it's crazy how mainstream Magic has gotten. No, I'm not trying to not say the name of the people. I actually just don't know the name. She said it was something that's like two people and they talk to their parents or something. I didn't even get the names of them from her, so I couldn't even tell you the names if I wanted to. But I just thought it was interesting that there was a Magic connection in the random YouTube videos that my 65-year-old mother watches. 65-year-old lady politics UB win. Oh, give Wizards a chance, world champion NA. It's it's coming. Wow, opponent went infinite but could red mana. That is why you don't scoop. That is why you let him go infinite. Infinite mana does not win the game. And now we will deal 3 damage to each creature and to each planeswalker. It even gets the Tibalt. And whoa, we just had a conversation. Let him combo off, and we were max rewarded. So good. I heard a rumor that WotC is bringing UB to D&D now. I would not be the least bit surprised. Did you see? Let me see if I can find the link to this. I'm going to put this screen up for a minute because I got to grab my Discord, and I don't know what window it's on. Okay, we're good. I always have this fear that my Discord's going to pop up and reveal some, like, secret information that isn't supposed to be there. Also, I'm trying. Check this out. You want to see fancy Saf? Look at that. My little brother's got a wedding coming up, and I'm trying to find something to wear to his wedding. So I ordered this suit. It doesn't fit quite right, so I don't think I'm going to be able to wear it. But we needed a picture of me as a game show host for a thumbnail of something. So that is my best game show host look at the moment with the tacky fancy suit. I don't know if you saw. So Mark Rosewater posted a thing a few days ago now on his Blogatog. And he said that he said that there's long story short, Commander and Universes Beyond might be two of the most popular things that Magic has ever done in 33 years. It's a little bit funny that that for one, Commander was created by fans, not WotC, and Universes Beyond is IPs created by other companies, not WotC. So in some ways, it's a little sad that the two most popular things you ever did, you didn't actually really do so much, but other people kind of did. So that part's a little sad. But, however, I think this would explain why Wizards would bring Universes Beyond to D&D, right? Like, if they really are looking at this as the most popular, biggest things that they've ever done, I would be surprised if they weren't looking for ways to make, oh no, another one-lander. I'd be surprised if they weren't looking for ways to make their other games more like Universes Beyond. Wait, are we getting into politics? The stream is a no politics zone. I'm sorry, it's probably my fault for telling that story about my mom. I was thinking that was not political enough to lead to political conversations, but the goal of the stream is no politics, because I think if you ever want to just talk politics with me, send me a message, I'll talk politics with you. But I really want the stream and content to be an escape from all the craziness in the world, and a place we can just hang out and enjoy each other and enjoy Magic and have fun, and not be tainted by everything else going on in the world. Isn't the greatest thing they'd ever done actually maintain Magic from Richard Garfield? Yeah, that is also probably true. I mean, we're going to keep this so we can suspend this. Do we just get rid of the gemstone? Oh, sounds kind of, maybe we need the gemstone. Do we just put footfalls to the bottom? No, that can't be right. So what if we put hedge maze to the bottom, start with gemstone, exiling wooded foothills, then we get a surveillance with wooded foothills to find land number 3? Let's try that. So we'll put the hedge maze to the bottom. We'll start with a gemstone in play. I guess the other option... The other option is to get rid of the force. Is a world where we just get rid of the force. Maybe getting rid of the force is actually better. Have you heard anything about MTG unionizing? Any news on the story? Yeah, so I've heard that the Arena team, or some of them, are trying to unionize, and it is essentially currently in progress. Like, they need to apparently do official votes and stuff. I don't really know much about the actual inner workings of how the process works, but my understanding it is Hasbro isn't fans of it. Some of the Arena team is trying to create a union, and it is currently in progress, essentially. Maybe we get rid of the force. I feel like I'm thinking way too hard about my mulligan decisions. Modern actually makes you think. It makes you think. Let's keep the force. We'll keep the force. What I do before becoming a content creator. So the way I ended up a content creator was actually... So I finished my bachelor. I graduated from college later than most people because I spent my early 20s messing around and playing music and not taking college as seriously as I should have. So I graduated from college and was thinking of going to grad school. And that is the same time, like in between finishing college and applying for grad schools, is when I randomly met Richard, and he was starting Goldfish, and that's when he was like, "Well, you should try, you should try writing, some of these things you're posting on Reddit or whatever. You should write them on my site." So I started doing it. So I was like, "Oh, that'd be fun," and it just kind of snowballed from there. And then grad school never happened. So it was actually kind of, Dead Gone is actually nice. Oh, I really want to suspend the Rhino. Do we even care about Delighted Halfling? Does that even matter? Maybe we just save it for combo pieces. Let's suspend the Crashing Footfalls. Do we need to kill? So, Also, yeah, you know, the biggest mistake. So when I first started, writing for Goldfish, like, I don't know, 2011, 2012, I was just writing articles. It wasn't a full time job or anything. I was just writing articles and getting paid a little bit for the articles, like by the article. And I remember the first time I was going to get paid for the article, Richard sent me a thing. He's like, "Oh, here's the options for getting paid," and it was like, whatever, you can get paid your check or PayPal, or one of the options was Bitcoin, and I didn't have any interest in Bitcoin or crypto or anything, and so I just got paid the normal way. But I thought about it, it's like, oh man, if if I had actually chose Bitcoin, I probably would have made so much money if I had actually just somehow taken that as the option back in 2011. Yeah, I feel like the force is worth. Oh, well, we have to force that, right? Because then our rhinos doesn't do anything. So I think we have to force pitch the fire ice, crack the wooded foothills, get a surveil land. I guess just Thundering Falls doesn't really matter. Oh, oh, we got to keep it, right? And try to hit a land. Yeah, I mean, we got to keep it. That's rhinos in the future. We will untap. Rhinos taking down. Still have a bunch. This is only turn. This is only turn two. Um, yeah, I don't think we can kill the halfling. I think we need to hold on to this to kill a combo piece when it happens. About it. I think this wouldn't have been the MTG Goldfish channel. It would have been the Saffron Olive channel. Yeah. So do you think what do you think about control decks in general? I think they're way underpowered compared to years ago. Since the threats today are so efficient, I'm not sure we'll ever see control deck win the Pro Tour again. If you're talking about traditional like draw go control, if we're talking traditional like draw go control, I do think it'll win a Pro Tour again, but I also mostly agree with your take that I think traditional draw go control has gotten worse because the threats have just outpaced the answers. And I feel like we've reached the point where it's getting harder and harder. You got to do weird things to make the answers line up with the threats. We're going to need like a 1 mana spell that exiles 2 creatures or something. You're going to be getting to the point where you're going to have to do some absurd things. I do also think that traditional control has kind of been intentionally nerfed by Wizards because a lot of people don't like playing against it. If you read random new players or more casual players, people hate playing against control decks. So I think Wizards is also kind of intentionally nerf the archetype to try to make sure it isn't that good. The prison deck is sweet. I've lost to the prison deck, but I haven't actually played with it yet. I think we just kill the devoted druid. So dead you. We are 0-1 right now. We lost to Affinity and also kind of just our deck, I guess. But we lost a 3-game match to Affinity in round 1. With one of the losses, we just got super mana screwed. We got stuck on 1 land for like 8 turns or something. We still almost won, but yes. But yeah, I don't think Wizards wants traditional Drago control to be like a super major part of the metagame. Wow, just getting in with the halfling. Okay. And Vizia of Remedies. Alright, doesn't do anything without the Devoted Druid. Do we need to kill this? If we draw... Yeah, let's just wait. Land! Land for the Violent Outburst. Oh, Barther's Dead is so good too. Alright, pass the turn. It's happening again! Oh, man. If we had only kept that 3rd land, but I guess we needed the force. Or they would have forced... or they would have had a Vexing Bobble. But man, I wish we had 1 more land. Sylvan Safekeeper. Okay, so then we need to... Wait, is there a way... Is Postmortem Lunge an instant? Are we going to die with this on the stack? Postmortem lunge. It's a sorcery. All right, so we will just dead the Vizier. Keep the combo pieces off the board. If we draw one more land in Brotherhood End, I think we should be pretty good to win, but... All right, opponent, sure. Combo piece down, opponent. And the rhinos are coming. The rhinos are coming. So Sylvan Safekeeper lets him sack a land to give something Shroud. I mean, personally, I think that control is, within reason, a healthy part of Magic. Like, I actually think that right now, yeah, so far we are the fair suspend deck, because we cannot draw land number 3. Seriously. So many Orms chants, my god. Okay, at least we drew a land. At least we drew a land. All right, well, unless our opponent can get both combo pieces and win right now, with 3 cards in hand, we should be able to just Violent Outburst into Rhinos, untap Brotherhood End, and it should be really hard for them to win from there. All the invitational cards, without the original art, make me sad. But I actually think right now, you know what the bigger risk of Magic is? I think the bigger issue with modern Magic isn't a concern that control will be too good. It's that games will become more and more about just snowballing into a victory and goldfishing into a victory. And I think that actually makes Magic... I think that's a bigger risk of making Magic unfun than control being too good is a risk of making Magic unfun. I actually think that is a real concern, I would say, with Standard, is I feel like the game has become a lot about just snowballing to a victory. And playing the bracket matches has really reminded me and reinforced, because like sometimes people think, oh, it's always been like that or whatever. And playing the bracket matches was a good reminder that no, it hasn't really always been like that. That is a relatively new addition, that's like a major part of the game. Yeah, opponents trying to combo off old school with Vizier and a Devoted Druid. They got us in game 1. The stack, I'm gonna have to play the standard stack. It just looks like the kind of deck that I would have fun playing. Although, I feel like it's a deck that is hard to play. I feel like it's one of those decks where is it Kevin Fost or something? Like the person who's done well with the deck, I feel it's like their deck and they're really good at it. Because if you look at the win rates, when just random people play the deck, their win rate of the deck is very bad. This is modern. This is our first modern stream in a minute, but we got some bannings yesterday, so I really love the best standard deck ever series, aside from the fact that I've now got Jace Better Than All song stuck in my head again. I love that song. I will say, honestly, if you have never listened to Patrick Chapin's album, it is a relic of 2009 or 2010 or 2000, whatever, 2012, whatever year it came out. It is a relic of that time to some extent, but there are some banger songs. Actually, the best song on that album is not Jason Mind Sculptor Better Than All. It's called The Storm, which somehow it's actually a work of art. It is actually a work of art. Somehow it tells the story of Nassif and Chapin's famous Ignite Memory store match. It Worlds like 2008, I want to say, something like that, maybe 2007. But it tells the story of that match while also mixing in these very like personal lyrics about like Storm and Chapin's own life and overcoming the storm. So I thought it was actually very, as far as Magic music goes, was actually a very artfully done piece that made it bigger than just just the game of Magic, which I thought was interesting. Okay, so if we take an island, we 1, 2, and 3. We do a little violent outbursting. If they have another Orms chant, how many of those can you possibly be playing? Crashing Footfalls. Make some Rhinos. Untap. Go to combat. Smack you with the Rhinos. Opponent. Gonna chump. And, okay. Teaching Moto Boomers about trample. Yes. That is fine. Oh, they're just going to let him die. Okay, I thought they were going to sack him. So opponent soaks up a little bit of damage. Ignite Memories does have Storm, and it deals damage equal to the... Your opponent has to reveal a card at random in their hand and take damage equal to the mana value. So there's this amazing game between Chapin and Gab Nassif where it comes down to essentially the mana values of the card in hand. And the math is very in favor of one thing happening, but you gotta watch. If you haven't seen it, it's so good. It's one of the best plays of all time. Oh, good for you, Space Boy Browdy. Yeah, I'll have to play the deck more. I'm actually curious if Brother Sedan is even the right play. I think we pass. I think the Slink into Stupor is actually better here. Like, we just leave up the Slink into Stupor. Let them do their thing. If they try to kill us, we sink into Stupor, whatever they use, and then we can untap Brother Sedan and hopefully get even more value out of it next turn. Bound it. Untaps. All right, opponent. We got some rhinos. This has been way grindier. It's been way grindier than I expected it to be. There's no L in that card. Yeah, no. Slink into Stupor is a winning card. Agatha's Soul Called Run. Does this matter? Okay. So he can exile the Devoted Druid? But that doesn't let them go infinite. So if I bounce the Soul Cauldron now, we win, right? Or at least we don't die. I think this is correct. Sink into Stupor. Bounce the Cauldron. So there's only one Devoted Druid in the graveyard. This will exile it. They can replay the Cauldron if they want to. But they're not going to be able to give it the Devoted Druid ability. Sure. And then we just untap Brothers at end. And then hopefully the Rhinos get it done. Man, this has been way grindier than I thought. The problem with trying to bounce the creatures is a Safekeeper. Our opponent can just sack a land to give it Shroud. The Soul Cauldron's actually... we could just blow up the Soul Cauldron. That's got to be worse than killing the creatures, right? Spreadsheet Magic is... I also feel like I think more when I play older formats. Although I guess we're playing the same rate as our opponent. But yeah, it does take a lot longer. About it. Passes. Ooh, we could make more rhinos, but... I think we just... 3 damage each creature. Sweep the board. And hit you with the rhinos. And it seems tough. Like, they don't even have a Devoted Druid in the graveyard, so they can't Postmortem Lunge combo. So I think we should just have it. Opponent gonna eat a Dried Arbor. Sure, drops to 2. Untaps 3 cards in hand. Is there a way they can combo off? They do have Soul Cauldron. Soul Cauldron is a ridiculous card. An opponent scoops it up. Moto or Arena, which do you think is better? Well, we gotta win. We're 1-1. Man, these have been 2 very close games. I would say for like 90% of people, Arena is gonna be better. I actually like Magic Online, but you gotta remember I've been playing Magic Online for like 20 years now or something. Like, I've been playing Moto for a long time. So the spreadsheet aspect of it, the slowness of it, the unintuitive nature of it when you're learning it, like none of that stuff bothers me anymore because I've just played it for so long. So for me, it's very intuitive. I'm very used to it. If you were just a new player though, who's like trying to decide if you're going to play Magic Online or Magic Arena, unless you really love Modern, or Legacy or Vintage or something, pre-Modern, I think it is almost certainly correct for you to start on Arena. And then once you get tired of Standard and Timeless and Pioneer that kind of exists, once you get tired of the Arena formats, then kind of migrate over to Magic Arena to play the other formats. Would you continue to play Moto if Arena had card format parity? Oh, if all the same formats and cards existed on both? I do not think I'd play Magic Online. Honestly, if it was all the same formats and cards, Arena, like, so there is a bit of an asterisk there where I'm still not sure how Arena would handle very complicated things. Like, the stop system is way worse. If they could implement some of the best things of Magic Online onto Arena, then I would probably never play. And the card pool was the same and the formats were the same. Then I would never play Magic Online. I'd only play Arena. But there might still be times when I play Magic Online just because Arena, the downside of Arena is it is very bad for like setting stops and playing tight technical Magic or doing weird combos. The stop system on Magic Online, where it's just all laid out in front of you and you can very easily turn things on and off and it saves them from turn to turn, I think is way, way better. Do we keep this? We do have a cavern. Yeah, I guess we keep this. I mean, it's hard to pass up a free extra mana to start the game. And we'll just pitch a Force, I guess? We do have two of them. Yeah, the Arena timer is also kind of stupid. That I do agree with. Found it. Marsh Flats passes. Ooh, Shardless Agent. That's a good one. Well, play the land and pass the turn. Rhino's coming turn 2. As long as there's not a Thoughtseize. I don't know if you already talked about this, but how do you feel about the Goblin Storm deck release? So are we talking about the deck itself or how it was released? So the deck itself, I think it's got good value in it. I do wonder why they chose to make a Zada Storm deck as like a sort of new player focused product. That seems like a little bit of an odd choice. So I'm not sure why they went with Zada as the choice of commander for the deck. I kind of think we keep this. Like, we're working towards Subtlety and Wistfulness. I think we keep it. I think we just Shardless Agent into Rhinos, into Subtlety, and then hopefully into Wistfulness. So let's play the Island. And all right, 1, 2, and 3. Remember Shardless Bug and Legacy? That deck was a cool deck. Cascading into, like, Hymn to Turok. It was so... Oh, that deck was sweet. Oh, well, Shardless Agent. And some Rhinos. That's 10 power on turn 2. Opponent gonna crack a Marsh Flats. Wait, is what new player focused? I associate precons with... So I guess it's kind of changed a little bit in the Commander era. But I think traditionally, I sort of view precons as being new player. Oh, Thalia. Oh, we probably got to Subtlety it, right? Yeah, I think we had a Subtlety it, unfortunately. It would have been so much better if we could wait a turn, but that's just going to blink out our Rhinos, and I don't think we can let them just blink out our Rhinos. Still going to be a problem next turn, but at least this buys us a turn without them blinking it out. The bigger issue is Wizards gotta... This was... Oh, man, we'll talk about this in a minute. I got a little rant. I got a little rant that's coming because this one, I think Wizards kind of being a little shisty. Maybe not being completely truthful with us. Opponent going to play an Ocelot Pride and pass. But we get a Fire Ice. That's actually not bad. Well, let's play a Scalding Tarn. Go to combat. Attack with the crew. The fire ice is actually kind of insane here. Hetcha. Down to 7. And we will just pass the turn. Opponent going to failure. So what is our best way of playing around this? So we kill the failure. The pride still gets in and does its thing. We can tap down the failure. We could kill the Ocelot Pride, leave the failure. Let's get a mountain, and I think we just kill the failure while they're tapped out. So fire. Kill the failure. And see if the rhinos get there. How late do you view your battle stream? I work until Tuesday, so 4 p.m. Eastern. Feels late for the stream. That is later than the stream normally goes. Pound it. My favorite planeswalker to fairy. Gonna bounce a rhino. Draw a card. Get in with Ocelot Pride. Hit us. Hallowed Fountain untapped down to 6. Oh, double Ocelot. Oh no, double Ocelot Pride. All right, that's not great. Well, we found a Scalding Tarn. Scalding Tarn, blue, blue, green, green, blue, blue. So let's crack the Scalding Tarn. Breeding Pool untapped. How do we survive these Ocelot Prides? We probably got to kill Teferi, right? Yeah, so let's kill the Teferi with the Rhino. And then green, green, blue, and blue. Wistfulness. The Vogue Elementals felt pretty good. Like, Wistfulness seems solid in this deck. Nothing to blow up, but we get to draw 2, discard 2, and we get a big body. All right. I mean, that's Shredless Agent for next turn. Pass the turn. Opponents. The Teferi would shut down our cascading, so we have to get rid of it. But yeah, after this game, I will explain. Opponent. Getting in with a Ocelot Pride. Well, let's make sure we kill it. Opponent goes to 7. Ephemerit's it. All right, they want to make them cats. And opponent gonna make some more dorks. Double dorks. Ooh, okay. That is not bad. That is not bad. So, what is the smartest way to do this? Well, let's go to combat. Let's attack. We're going to start by getting in there with the Rhino, with the Wistfulness. Pound it. Blocks, 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 blocks. Ooh, they're going to cash in their cats. They're going to cash in the cats. All right, sure. That's fine. That is fine. Opponent doesn't want to take the damage. So we kill a bunch of cats. Now we get to green, blue, green. Shardless Agent. Make some more rhinos. And then we kill the Ocelot Prides. And then we should be... Ooh, wait. Opponent. Oh, consign to memory to stop the trigger. Okay. This is kind of fine. I mean, not as good as making a bunch of rhinos, but the more important thing to resolve here is actually this fire to kill the 2 Ocelot Prides. And your go. All right, opponent. 1 card in hand. Blink your cat token if you want. Blink your cat token if you want. Yeah, I'm sorry, Mega Magic Carp. I'm sorry. So yeah, normally the stream goes to around 2 Eastern World Champion NA. Although maybe there's a oh, they're out of cards. Maybe there's a world where we do a viewer battle stream at another time. Not this viewer battle stream, because we already kind of got it set up, but maybe we got to do a special, like, I don't know, weekend viewer battle stream or something, or like evening viewer battle stream for the people that are not around at that time. Opponent gonna block and block. Well, I mean, we're gonna play the land because I think we still have a surveil land. Pass the turn. All right, opponent, what do we find? No, another flagstones. All right, opponent, flagstones into flagstones. Misty. Thundering Falls. Come on, one more Cascade spell. Not a Misty Rainforest. That goes to the graveyard. Come on, Violent Outburst. Found it. Gonna tutor up a Surveil Land? No, lots of Surveil Lands. Meticulous Archive puts it to the graveyard. All right, come on, deck. Come on, we need one more draw. One more draw. Oh, Quantum Riddler is actually absurd. That is actually absurd. We will warp a Quantum Riddler. Whoo! And that will let us go to combat. Get and hit you with a Wistfulness. Opponent goes to 1. And actually, I guess we just kill them. Fire goes face, right? Yeah, I mean, I guess we just win. We'll just win. Well, this deck actually feels pretty good. It actually feels pretty good. Being our co-stream today. Ooh. Do we care? Do we want to hear what Watsy has to say? I imagine it'll just kind of repeat the article, but if we want to watch it, we can. Here is the thing I might want to rant about a little bit. So there was this post on Mark Rosewater's blogatog. So this person asks, could you explain why Secret Lair moved from print to demand to a limited print run model? I thought it was so that the cards could be pre-printed to reduce time between ordering and shipping, but a decent number of recent Secret Lairs have had their distribution delayed due to production issues, which implies that it's no longer being printed in advance of the sales. Why are we using a worse sales model if it's not even solving the problem it was intended to solve? So Marrow says, I did a podcast with blah, blah, blah. We talked about this. We only did print to demand in the very early days of Secret Lair, like 6 months, and it was untenable from a business standpoint. We are now reserving printing time a year ahead of time. That's far different than a product being delayed for a month or two. Most of the time, you think of what you think of as print to demand actually wasn't. We just printed way more than we needed to guarantee that we had enough to mail out, and it resulted in us destroying a lot of product, and was also untenable from a business standpoint. Second time you said that exact same line, untenable from a business standpoint. Hey, what's up, that dude Smoke? My issue, it's untenable. That's the new technology. My issue with this is actually, there's 2 things. One is, doesn't this mean Wizards was lying to us? Like, weren't they? My remembrance of this is they are the ones that were using the term print to demand up until 2 or 3 years, like not that long, not just the first 6 months back in 2020. Like, so if we're confused about print to demand, maybe it's because you're calling it print to demand. Why not doing print to demand? Like, it makes sense people would be confused, because I feel like they had to be not exactly telling the truth here, right? Like, it can't be print to demand, but it actually wasn't print to demand. So it seems really weird. Yeah, like, it's very weird to me that they're saying now that, actually, it was never, outside of the first 6 months, it was never print to demand. We weren't actually print to demanding. I also don't understand why they changed it then, because the issue in the early days was really long shipping times, but now they're saying they were printing them all ahead of time anyway. So why were there all those really long shipping times? That also doesn't make sense. If they were just sitting there ready to mail out, why do people have to wait so long? Oh God. Run it back. We did not sideboard very quickly. So yeah, I don't know. Like, they're the ones who said print to demand, right? It's not that we put that word on them. They called it print to demand. Oh. But that makes me, all right, rhinos. That was the thing that made me sad about the Goblin deck, though, is like, and from Wizards' perspective, it's probably a win. It sold out. Sure, some people are salty they didn't get one, but we sold all we wanted to. Well, they're all gone. We're not it's not untenable from a business perspective. So it's probably good for them, but it just makes me sad when they do a cool product. When they do a cool product like the Goblin deck, and so few people can get it, and like, just the world where people try to get Magic cards they're excited for, and end up feeling salty and disappointed rather than happy, I just don't think it's a good way for the game to be, right? Like, if people's experience with Secret Lair is, oh, it's that product where I waited on a website for an hour only for it to say it was sold out by the time I got through the line, you're just replicating the worst. Oh, God. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Well, our opponent came prepared, and do we even have an answer to this in our deck? Wait, we do not, do we? Do we have an answer? Chat. Chat. Do we just scoop? Do we have an answer to this in our main? Oh, I guess we have 2 wistfulnesses, so we have to find a wistfulness. Probably not going to be fast enough, but oh, that is bad news. Man, people are already preparing. They are already preparing for our deck. Mount Ranger Captain of Eos. This is going to be a hard one. Nah, I don't even bother to wait in line anymore because I just assume that it's going to end in heartache. Even for products that I actually want, like, even ones I actually want, I just assume it's not going to be worth it, so I don't bother. Yeah, let's Riddler. Warp a Riddler. Our 1 spell for the turn. We just got to find a wistfulness. It's as simple as that. Wistfulness or bust. Quantum Riddler draws a Fire Ice. Well, let's play a Misty. Pass the turn. Keep thinning the deck. I was still in the queue 30 minutes after everything sold out, and I was one of the first ones in the queue. Yeah, that... Speak of untenable. I would say that the Secret Lair situation is untenable, chat. It is untenable from a community perspective. Oh, that's our word for the day. UNTENIA. We need to pop up on the screen. Opponent gets and hits us down to 15. This. Oh, yeah. All right, we're gonna just call this one, I think. Our opponent has layer upon layers of ways to stop us from cascading. Like, High Noon stops us, Teferi stops us, right? Our opponent does not want to lose to Violent Outburst. It's like our opponent's deck is almost specifically built to make sure that our deck is not going to be able to do its thing. Oh, Steam Vents, even more lands. Well, let's play a Misty. Keep fit in the deck. Quantum Riddler's coming. Maybe the Riddler can get there. Opponent, yeah, that Teferi was untenable. Found it. Hits us down to 12. I heard on Reddit they found an HTML code that says it might get restocked. I mean, like, why don't they actually just do print to demand? Like, I'm curious. I personally, if the deal was this for me, if the deal was this, yeah, we're going to give it another turn just because if we can draw wistfulness, then I think we still have a chance. Not saying it's super realistic, but we have reached the point of the game where we can start casting. We can start casting things like Quantum Riddler. And if we ever draw wistfulness, we can just blow up the High Noon and then start cascading into Rhinos. Well, double Dead Gone. That could get rid of the Ranger Captain. I mean, the Teferi's probably coming, but then at least the Quantum Riddler can pressure the Teferi. I'm not going to play the Teferi. Bounce the Quantum Riddler. Olive Mountain. Tapped. And hits us down to 8. We also need to be aware of High Noon dealing damage to us. That might be what they're... Oh, my goodness. Goodness gracious, chat. You don't say. Okay. So, new plan. That is a wistfulness. All right. I mean, wistfulness, double green, double blue. If there was any card that was going to give us a shot, it was this. So wistfulness, get rid of the High Noon. Discard a Crashing Footfalls. Steam Vents tapped. All right, we're no longer limited to 1 spell per turn. There's no longer a High Noon holding damage over our face. Opponent takes up the Teferi. We still do want to get rid of the Teferi somehow. Opponent. Ocelot Pride. And gonna crack the Flooded Strand. Plains. And Quantum Riddler. Okay. Well, I mean, we're sort of stable-ish. Opponent passes. We draw a Fire Ice. So if we Fire Ice to Fairy, so we need to Fire Ice the Teferi. Get that off the battlefield. Stomping Grounds tapped. And pass the turn? Okay. I mean, we're kind of still in this game somehow. But, like, oh, here's what I was saying about Secret Lairs. Wouldn't it, like, would you take this deal, chat? Would you take the deal that when a Secret Lair goes for sale, you will always be able to get a copy of it because it would actually be printed to demand, except that copy would not show up at your house for 6 months, 4 months, some relatively long period of time where Wizards could actually take and like sell all their stuff. Thalia. All right, so we are going to dead the Soul Guide Lantern. Opponent gets a Thalia. Do we warp the Riddler? We need to not take damage off the Riddler. So, Slink into Stupor. Get rid of the Riddler. Untap. Well, let's play the land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Play the Quantum Riddler. Dead the Thalia. Opponent's going to consign to memory. Man, this is an almost unbeatable amount, almost unbelievable amount of hate cards in our opponent's deck. Consign to memory, Teferi, High Noon. They have so many. Yes, there's nothing wrong with some delayed gratification if it means Secret Lairs are fairly priced and the supply issue is solved. I'd gladly wait a whole year if it means the prices are fair and everyone who wants to buy one gets a chance. That's kind of where I'm at. Like, that's a system I would like to see, is actually a real, true print-to-demand system, even if I'm at waiting longer, because I would buy Secret Lairs then. Like, if I knew that I could get on the website anytime on a certain day, or even within a few hours on a certain day, and I knew I could just get what I wanted, I would actually buy a reasonable amount of Secret Lairs. But the current system, it's just not worth the hassle. Like, that's kind of my issue, is it's just not worth the hassle to sit there and wait. Okay. So opponent gets first strike damage to gain life because they want to make a token. Wow, look at him. Look at him go. Look at him go. All right, crack this Scalding Tarn. Get the last lands out of the deck. If it wasn't for this Ranger Captain... Yeah. All right, opponent grounded out. All right, what do we actually have that we can sideboard against this deck? These inevitable betrayals don't seem great. Maybe Brothers at End? We might need something to deal with the High Noons. Man, this might just be a miserable matchup. Our opponent, my God. My God, do they have basically every Every card that interacts with what we're trying to do. Is Brotherhood End good enough? So Endurance doesn't do anything. I've not been very impressed with Subtlety. Subtlety actually feels kind of mid. Yeah, I mean, almost Brazen Borrower almost feels better than Subtlety in this deck, or in this matchup. I think I'd rather have a Brazen Borrower than a Subtlety. We drew a lot of removal that game, but I mean, kind of the issue is if we can't do the Rhino thing. If we can't do the Rhino thing, the power level of the deck's pretty low. Do you see the Artist to the Goblin Storm tweet? So this was Wizards of the Barge. The artist that did the Goblin Seeker Laird app. What up, y'all? I figured this might be the easiest way to put up my thoughts on the drop today. I'm obviously super disappointed in how the drop was handled. I woke up just like all y'all to try to buy a second copy. Yes, I only get one. And just like many of you, it was sold out while I was in my car. I spent months on the concepts of the art for the deck. It was truly a dream project with Magic. As many of you have known, we promoted the deck around me, the artist, and I did everything that they let me do to prioritize my fan base, many of which were planning to get into Magic through this deck. I didn't gain anything from this deck selling out this fast. I wanted the most people possible to enjoy this project that I've been working so hard on. I already sent an email to my best contact at WotC to see if there's a possibility of getting more decks in circulation. Not counting on it, but it's worth a try. Oh no, hang on. I will finish that, but I'm afraid we're gonna miss sideboarding, and we really need a sideboard if we're gonna win this matchup. Let's go down one more Subtlety. Maybe one Vibrance. And do we really want 2 Force of Vigors? Maybe we go 1 Force. And then maybe like 1 Shardless. Let's try it like that. Just wanted to get on here and rant and say, regardless of everything, I'm extremely grateful for the support of the Magic community. I don't take it for granted that people wanted the deck at all. So thank you for your appreciation. I'm going to go sit outside now and try to separate this experience from the artwork so I can still be proud of it when I see it. Jeez. Yeah, that sucks. Like that actually kind of sucks. I mean, maybe, honestly, something like that might be the best way to get through to Wizards. Like, if artists they want to work with refuse to work with them. Is this hand good? I guess it can stop. Yeah, all right, we're going to keep it. Hopefully we draw some Cascade spells. They gave him a copy. They gave him a single copy. Was playing, hey, what's up, Ricker K-Dog? How are you? Good to see ya. Was playing some Abiding Grace, looping Haywire Might to destroy lands with liquid metal coating in the current Artisan tournament. Made me think of you. That sounds awesome, Ricker. How you doing, Ricker? You know what really sucks? Windows. I agree with that. Windows 11 does kind of suck. All right, let's Wooded Foothills. Crack it. Get a Thundering Falls. Surveil away, I think, the Subtlety. And untap draw. Mystical Dispute. Well, playing the land, and I mean, we have defense. Cha-cha-cha, lots of defense. Let's kill the guy to Souls past the turn. Doing well, graduated, have a job as a math teacher now. It is, man, you make me feel old, Rucker. It is awesome, and also makes me feel very old, because I feel like, were you like a, I don't know, freshman, sophomore in high school when you started watching the stream, and now you've graduated? I remember when you came into the stream talking about going off to college, and now you've graduated. Now you've graduated. It's so cool to see people. So cool to see people just doing well and growing. And oh man, I don't think we keep that Mystical Dispute. We need a land. Oh, not like this. Not another one where we can't hit our lands. Y'all gonna be kidding me. All right. Well, Crashing Footfalls. I guess we can play the Slink into Stupor. But if we play the Sink into Stupor, we can't force and Mystical Dispute. Maybe that's fine. That might be better than missing our land drop. Yeah, we're gonna play it. We're going to play it tapped. Pass the turn. So Dismember can deal with a failure. All right, there's a failure. We're not going to do it yet, because I'm very worried about a Teferi coming down. Teferi is even worse than failure. Opponent Flagstones and warps a Quantum Riddler. Well, okay. I think we just dismember failure. So they can warp and draw their card. That's fine, but they can't blink it and keep it. Opponent. Passing. Consign to memory. Well, I mean, we got to do it. We got to do it. Force it. Come on, deck. Come on, deck. Cascade. Oh my god, it is Cascade. Okay. That's what we needed. That's what we needed. Shardless Agent. Spin it to win it. Opponent got no mana up. Here comes our Rhinos. We got a shot. It was looking bad. But suddenly there's a bunch of power. We passed the turn. Come on. Hold. Come on. Oh, wow. Did we turn the corner? AG K-Mark for the 79th month. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Opponent has a Teferi. Of course, gonna bounce our Rhino. Of course, draw a card. And Ocelot Pride, our nemesis. Opponent passes. Tick down the Rhinos. There's a Beseju. Doesn't do much. Well, go to combat. We have to, man, they're going to start making tokens. We have to send them both. We have to get Teferi off the battlefield. We have to. There's no option here. Teferi has got to go. They both go with Teferi. Because we have another Crashing Footfalls that's ticking down. Wow. Opponent. Solitude. Pitching their last card to get rid of it. Going to block with the Ocelot Pride too. And opponent chumps with the Ocelot Pride. Okay. Teferi versus the world. Who top decks better? We play the land. Pass the turn. Come on. Whiff. Opponent takes up Teferi. Opponent plays a land so they can unwarp the Quantum Riddler and refill their hand. No. Oh, no. And now we can't get rid of the Teferi. Crashing Footfalls. But we can't cast it. No. And that's game. And that is game. Oh. I mean, I'm equal opportunity destroyer of cats and dogs, apparently. Oh. Yeah, that's just game. Brutal. So do we just pass then? I mean, so the problem is the Teferi fizzles. If we had another red source, the Vibrance could kill the Teferi. So maybe we haven't fetched in a long time. I think fetching the 2 Surveil lands on turn 1 and turn 2 was correct, and then we just haven't drawn another red source of mana. So I don't think we messed up with that. I mean, I think we're still dead even if our next draw is a red land. Like, the problem is the Teferi fizzles a Crashing Footfalls, so we don't get any Rhinos. Even if we draw a red source and play the Vibrance and kill the Teferi, I think it's just going to be too late. We'll try it and see, but we needed this. We needed the Crashing Footfalls. Like, we needed to be able to cast the Crashing Footfalls, and without that, like, it doesn't work. It's not a. If we had drawn the Fire Ice last turn, it could have killed the Teferi. It could have killed the Teferi. All right, so I guess we fire, ping, and ping. Man. All right, and opponent. They have a Solitude too. They Quantum Riddlered into Solitude. No. Oh, the running. Man, that was such a brutal loss. Pound it. Ticks up to Fairy. Pound it. I think that Rhinos is decent. I think that because it just got unbanned, the amount of hate people are playing for it is absolutely incredible. It is absolutely incredible. Another sink into stupor, and that's gonna do it. Ouch. Ouch. I think that's at a printing one deck. You get 4 or 5 copies of the new art. Granted shipping costs for heavier stuff, but Secret Lair Commander decks notorious for delays historically. That is true. Hey, what's up, Badger? How are you? Love to see you playing some Modern. Just got here. How are we doing? Any chance to see more Modern in the future? Maybe. I mean, the banlist update makes things a little bit more interesting over the short term, so I think it's possible. It's possible we see some more Modern now and then. We'll see what the metagame looks like. I mean, I don't know. I guess since I didn't ban anything in Standard, that makes Modern the most interesting format at the moment. So that's a point in favor of Modern. I started watching when you guys were doing instant deck tax. Oh boy, that was a long time ago. You know what? We have to keep this. This feels like the kind of hand that we just never draw. Land number. Oh, Chancellor the Forge. Or maybe we just instantly die. All right, let's put a Gemstone Caverns into play. Exile the Crashing Footfall. All right, so opponent gets to start. What are they doing over there? Opponent going to start with a free 1/1. OP. Okay, Call Me Guard. Oh, this has to be... They're cascading into, oh, what's it called? The Warp World thing. That's that deck. It's got to be that deck. So we just need to kill things. The less things they have on the battlefield, the less things they can spin into. Land. Okay. Fire Ice can get things off the battlefield. We still need land number 3, though. Magic Gods. Glimpse the Unthinkable. Thank you. That's a card I was trying to think of. Opponent. Atwara. And... I think we cycle. To see if we can draw into a land so we can start making rhinos. I think that's our best plan. So let's ice down the blue source. All right, draw Steam Vents. Well, here comes some rhinos. Steam Vents, untapped. Pass the turn. Gonna make some instant speed rhinos. Oh, about it. Yeah, it's gotta be the Glimpse. An opponent scoops it up. Okay. Well, that was a freebie. So, chat, you've asked me a bit about what I thought about the bannings. What do you think about the ban list update from yesterday? What is your take? Man, I remember the instant deck tech era. Instant deck techs, it's funny to see how much we talk about Magic growing, but Magic content has also grown a lot. And some of the stuff that used to work back then, like instant deck techs, I think we're a product of there just was not that much Magic content because eventually, once there started to be more and better content, they just kind of stopped doing their thing. I think Twitch really killed instant deck tags. Like, the upside to instant deck tags at the time is there weren't that many people making like gameplay content, and even less people making gameplay content about cool decks. A lot of the content you would have would be like pros tuning their decks for the tournament or something. So the instant deck tags at the time were a cool way to like highlight decks that you hadn't seen before. But then once Twitch became a big thing, any cool deck was played like the day after the deck list was published. So then a deck list going up a few days later, an instant deck tag, a lot of people are just like, oh, I already saw someone stream that deck, so it's not new to me anymore. So I think the speed of Magic just kind of changed it. So, I think this might... We're going to assume that they're playing Glimpse. We're going to just assume that. Maybe they're not playing that, but that's my assumption. So we're going to sideboard as if that's what they're playing. All right, Charmar, go away. We're going to sideboard as if that's what they're playing. Do we take out Crashing Footfalls, chat? How insane is it to take out Crashing Footfalls? So we always spin an inevitable betrayal. Like, are we that confident that they're going to have like an Emrakul or something in their deck? Is that just insane? It might be insane. Oh, I do remember that. Yeah, I remember the spell shift deck. That was part of it. We did viewer like once a week. We did a viewer deck tech. You know what? It's actually kind of hilarious. Let's try it. I don't know. I'm not saying this is correct, but I think it's going to be the best content play at least. Instant deck techs were like there's like 5-minute, 7-minute deck techs that I used to publish every day. There was one on the YouTube. We're on the draw. I mean, we got a bunch of counters. We only need 1 land for Wistfulness. I think this is fine. Opponent, Lush Portal. Watch us have the matchup wrong. Watch us have the matchup wrong, and they're not doing what we think they're doing. Then we're probably just dead. Because we don't have any rhinos. So if they are doing something other than Glimpse, we are probably in really, really bad shape. About it. Tap land. Well, let's Misty Rainforest. Crack it. Grab a Hedge Maze. Surveil. That's a bad land, but we want land number 3, so we will keep it. Keep the Gemstone Caverns. Steam Vents. Untapped. Well, this is kind of the moment of truth. We really want them to play something that tells us they're on Glimpse, or else we might have just sideboarded in a way that we cannot win this game. Found it. Thinking. Tapping. Untapping. And passing. Wait. They're not rhinos, are they? They can't be. They can't be rhinos, can they? Oh, if this is rhinos, I'm gonna cry. This better be cascading into Glimpse. I swear to God, opponent. Hey, it is. It's Glimpse of Tomorrow. Do we even counter this? A Glimpse for 3? Do we even care? No, I guess we actually can't counter it. You're right. It gets around all of our counters. All right, let's see what happens. 3 permanents. Spin it to win it. Spin it to win it. Risen Reef, Colony Garden, and a land. Huh. Looking at their deck, I'm a little sketched out that they didn't spin into better things. Oh, actually, no. Halo Forger. Halo Forger. Wait. So we can... Wait. So we can Inevitable Betrayal. Let's play Gemstone Caverns. I mean, Fire is actually really good too. But they have... Okay, so they're playing Halo Forger in their deck. So what we can do is... Violent Outburst, cascade into Inevitable Betrayal, take a Halo Forger, use Halo Forger to cast the Bribery again in double Bribery. I think we do it all at instant speed, right? I think we just pass. Because during our opponent's turn, we can use the Force. So I think we just pass, because they probably also could be playing Force. All right, let's see what happens. We could also just ice down their creatures. Opponent. Tap land. Oh boy, here we go. They don't even have the mana. Okay. Time for some fun. Our super secret sideboard tag. Violent Outburst. Spin it to win it. Oh no. We're gonna make some rhinos? No. Inevitable Betrayal. Bribery you. And let's see what you got in there, opponent. Oh God. Okay. Not great. Not great. They're not playing big thing. I guess Chancellor of the Forge is their biggest thing. So I think so. Halo Forger, when enters pay X, if you do, you can cast target instant or sorcery, manipulate X from a graveyard without paying its mana cost. So the betrayal be okay. So we get the Halo Forger. That exiles the betrayal. Halo Forger, inevitable betrayal again. Let's do it one more time. Yes. What do you got in that deck, opponent? So good. And then, do we want Omnath? Do we want Chancellor? So this will make 2 1/1s and we get a 5/5. Yeah, I wish our opponent had better things in their deck. I remember playing and you're like trying to spin into Emrakul and stuff, but yeah, let's just Chancellor. I think that's fine. Chancellor makes some dorks. Opponent has a Solitude. Going to exile the Chancellor. Oh, and they get a Risen Reef trigger? That's not good. Opponent draws another Chancellor. Alright, sure. Opponent. Yeah, so we make a 1/1. Well, that was not as exciting as we were hoping. Boo and hiss on you, opponent. Well, go to combat. Get in with the Halo Forger. Hit ya. And we will pass the turn. How do they even cast anything, though? Like, how are they ever casting Omnath in this deck? Yeah, I thought they were going to be doing something unfair, but they're just trying to put elementals into play. They're just trying to play some elementals. Pound it. Passing. Well, okay. So I think we fire. Kill the Risen Reef. Kill a token. Untap. Alright, Steam Vents is good. Go to combat. Get in, hit ya. I mean, I think we are in good shape to win this game. We're just not winning it as spectacularly as I was hoping. But, wow, they're going to block? Wait, they're going to... Why would they block? Okay. Why would you give up a permanent in your Glimpse deck to save a single damage from a Goblin token? I know, we wanted the Emrakul. I know you say that all of Modern is populated by MH3 decks, and while that can be true, there are decks that are thriving with little few cards from MH sets like Living on an Affinity. Toxic Deluge X1. Do we even care about this? Not really. We'll just bribery again. Pound it. Passing, all right. Well, let's try this one more time. One more time. Well, this one better work because we took the rhinos out for this, so this one better work. Oh my god, I cannot tap properly. All right, hang on. All right, there. Green, red. There we go. Violent Outburst. Spin into. Our last inevitable betrayal. Inevitable betrayal. Search your deck. And I think we just take an Omnath. Let's just take an Omnath. Take an Omnath. Draw a card. Draw another Force. Untap. This is the weirdest, fairest match. This is a breeding pool. Untapped. Gain some life. Hit you with the Omnath. About it. Down to 9. Let's warp a Riddler. Oh no. The Violent Outburst, it does nothing, but it does pump. It does pump. It still pumps. Yeah, maybe shuffling them back in was worth it. I think, hopefully we can just close out the game, though. I think there's a decent chance we can just close out the game. Toxic Deluge X4. We have so many forces. Force, pitch A, subtlety. Oh, Violent Outburst. Violent Outburst is lethal. It's lethal. We have nothing to cascade into, but we can reveal our deck to deal +1 damage. We should play the lad first, I guess. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. Oh, we took out the rhinos, so there's nothing for this to hit, but it's still the hidden mode. +1/+0 is Xaxes, an opponent. I will say, I love the Glimpse of Tomorrow deck. I don't know if I love our opponent's version of the Glimpse of Tomorrow deck. Like, the Halo Forger's cute, but I think you want to play some, like, big finishers. I think you want some big finishers. I know you say that all modern decks are populated by MH decks, and while that can be true, there are decks that are thriving with little to few cards from MH sets like Living in an Affinity. I don't count cards either that are reprints into Modern. Thoughts? Do you think there are more to Modern than people give it credit for? I mean, I guess maybe to some, like, there's probably more to Modern than people give it credit for, but I also think, I don't know, it's hard for me to look at the Modern meta and not see just, if you think about the number of sets in Modern, right, Modern starts in what, 2003, 2004? We're talking 22, 23 years worth of sets. So we're looking at over 100 sets. Over 100 sets in Modern at this point, I believe. So it is true that it's probably better than people give it credit for, or more to it than people give it credit for. But I think it's also true that if you just looked at, like, the Modern meta and what sees play, a way higher percentage of cards come from Modern Horizons 3 than any other set. Like, a perfectly balanced meta, each set would be 1% of the meta, let's say, but Modern Horizons 3 is like 30 or 40% of the meta. So that's kind of the awkward thing. The thing I like about what they're doing is, so they're not doing Modern Horizon sets anymore, at least from what they've said, and I feel like the best thing you can possibly do, because there's not a realistic way to go back in time or get rid of these sets. I'm a little worried about Modern just stagnating at Modern Horizons 3, which I think that's like kind of the worst case scenario, because then you have the same issues before Modern Horizons started, where people wanted things to change more, but now they've stagnated with the meta being about 3 sets instead of 20 years worth of sets, which is more awkward. But I do think one of the easiest things they can do is just keep aggressively unbanning things. Like, if the power level is going to be so high, you have a lot of relatively iconic cards on the ban list, and so far, it seems to be working that you can unban some of those cards to generate hype for the format and to shake up the format, and in general, because the power level is so high, those cards that were broken 10 years ago are not going to break the format. So that's the part of Modern I'm most hyped about now, is actually the unbannings are the most exciting part. Deathray Shaman, yeah. I thought Deathray Shaman would get unbanned before they unbanned Violent Outburst. Whenever I do, like, rankings of the things I thought that could be unbanned in Modern, Violent Outburst, I guess it's relatively new to the ban list, only a couple years old, but that was never one of the cards that I was like, oh, that will probably be unbanned, or I really think they should unban that. It was always pretty far down. Pretty far down. They will never unban Top. It'll not happen. It's just, the issue with Top is not that it's too powerful. It's banned for other reasons, which is mostly that it just slows tournaments to a crawl. So I don't think it'll ever be unbanned because of that. I think that one's locked away forever. But on the Modern ban list, like, even after these changes, I think, like, Arkham's Astrolab can come off. Birthing Pod, I think you should try at least. Blazing Shoal, I think, can come off. Deathrite definitely should come off. There might be an argument that Dark Depths is okay. After seeing Dark Depths in Timeless, although Timeless has Strip Mine and Modern has not even Wasteland, I'm a little bit more on the side of, like, maybe you could think about it. You probably need, like, maybe Swords in the format, maybe Wasteland in the format, but we're getting closer to when I could think Dark Depths could be in the conversation. I don't know about Dig Through Time. The Delve cards still scare me, but that might just be Boomer Brain, and maybe maybe Dig would be safer this time. I'm more of a hard no on Treasure Cruise than Dig. Feel the Dead, no. I've seen people argue for Fury, but probably not. Glimpse of Nature, I think, is a really easy unban. Hypergenesis, I think, is fine. If people are playing Glimpse and these Cascade decks, like, I don't think this is that much different than, like, Living End or even the Rhino deck. Like, it has different incentives, different costs, but different payoffs, but it's kind of the same thing that if you do the Cascade thing, you can probably win, and if you don't, you probably lose. Grave Troll, yeah. Grave Troll for the third time. Every few years, Wizards just gotta unban Golgari Grave Troll and see if Dredge has gotten safer somehow. We'll just take Dredge hasn't done anything in a minute. Let's take off Grave Troll and see what happens. Dredge immediately breaks everything. Okay, maybe we should not have done that. Maybe we need to ban Golgari Grave Troll. Oh, Punishing Fire, yeah. I mean, Punishing Fire, I think, will come off now. I think now that the same argument that people used against unbanning Umezawa's Jitte, which is it'll push small creature decks out of the format, exactly the same argument that is used for Punishing Fire. So I think if Jitte is unbanned and it doesn't have a big impact, I think that makes it... Ooh, I should have kept the Force. I think that makes it more likely... I think it makes it more likely that we could actually get a Quantum Riddler. Yeah, we need something better than that. I think it makes it more likely that we could see an unbanning of Punishing Fire. Oh, that's actually not bad. Sorry, Granny. Sorry, Granny, but I think you might be dead. This is got to be some sort of Reanimator deck. There's like a Grand Gorio's Reanimator deck. Eggs, no. We do. Well, thankfully we have two Cascade spells. We do not want eggs coming off. No. Nadu, please, for the love of God, never. Ponder, I think could come off. Probably not Rite of Flame right now, but I don't know. I guess Ruby Storm's good enough without it. Second Sunrise, not happening. Seething Song, oh, wow. Okay, opponent. Not one, but two Thought Seizes to take our two Cascade spells. That is not great for us. Opponent passes. We draw a Subtlety that doesn't do much. Well, we will play the land. Oh, do we want to evoke the Wistfulness? Actually, maybe we should. Yeah, let's do it. We're still so much mana away. I don't think they're gonna have artifacts, so let's just chart a course. See if we can draw into another Cascade spell. Yeah, let's pitch the Subtlety. We'll keep the land so then we can actually hardcast the Subtlety if we don't have anything else going on. Artifact lands, yeah. Artifact lands I always thought could come off, but I'm a little bit less sure now that Affinity is one of the best decks in the format. Skull Clamp, ain't no way. That card will be broken to the end of days. Like, it's 1 mana to cast, 1 mana to equip. It's still so efficient. It's not like... Some of the cards that were banned were like a product of their era. They were really good at their time. Oh, this is so... I wanted to see this deck. Okay, I'm actually excited for this now. So I have not played... I actually was thinking about trying to play this deck sometime. So this deck is playing Pensive Professor from Secrets of Strixhaven. I don't know if any of you have seen this deck. So this is a Pensive Professor Agathis Soul Cauldron Psychic Frog deck. If you can get a Psychic Frog under a Soul Cauldron with Pensive Professor out, Pensive Professor's ability is whenever a counter is added to it, you draw a card. So if you can give it Psychic Frog's ability, you can discard a card to Psychic Frog's ability to add a counter to Professor, which will let you draw a card. So essentially you can loot through your entire deck on the spot, and then you win the game somehow. So yeah, this was a deck I talked about on the podcast. So it's cool to actually... I've seen the deck list, but I haven't actually played against the deck, because it was the first time I played against it. Opponent's going to unearth Gran. I mean, okay, I think. So opponent draws a card, gets a granny. Another pensive professor. Well, okay. We might as well run this out so at least we have a body on the battlefield. Run out the subtlety. So we put the professor on top. They're going to draw the professor again. That double Thoughtseize. If we had the rhinos, I think they'd be dying by now, but we do not have any rhinos. Thoughts on the announcement that Competitive Pioneer will return in some form next year? My advice would be to not get your hopes up. Like, until there's more information, I mean, I'm glad. Pioneer should have been supported all along in some form. Like, I think removing support completely was not a wise move. And honestly, in some ways, kind of an insane move coming on the back of just creating the format on Arena not that long ago. Like, wild that you would do the work to add it to Arena and then just stop supporting it. But I would say being supported in some form next year or returning in some form next year. Oh, all right. So I think Grand lives, and we're going to play the Endurance. And if they combo off, they combo off. Cannot do a lot about our opponent drawing triple Thoughtseize. Like, there's just, what do you do? Sometimes they draw every Thoughtseize. Shuffle our stuff back in case maybe we draw a Cascade spell, make some rhinos. And all right, opponent, you go to 7, and let's see what happens. Takes the Dead God. So I can get in with the Grand to discard. Are they just playing the Professor? Abhorrent Oculus. Ooh, yeah, okay. Well, I think this Pensive Professor is looking good. I do not think we are going to beat an Oculus. We need to top deck, I guess, another Dead Gone. Man, triple Thoughtseize. Website still has Explore in the top nav bar as deck metagame page, even though it hasn't existed in years. That's a good point. I'll have to mention that to Richard. Wait, does it? Oh, it does say Explore. You're right. Oh, we draw land. All right. Yeah, there's no coming back. Pensive Professor. Watch Pensive Professor be good in Modern. There's no way. Could Cloud Post come back? I wonder in this new era that's coming into play tapped is an issue. I mean, it definitely is an issue, although Cloud Post is still good enough for Legacy, right? So I imagine you, like, the power level's high enough or you can just build around it enough. I guess, like, Cloud Post is fringe in Legacy. How much would it look like the Legacy deck? So you get Karn, you get Ugin, no crop rotation. Kozilek's Command, Once Upon a Time, that's banned. I mean, I guess it would look quite a bit different. No One Rings. I mean, maybe it'd be fine. How good is Tron? I mean, that's, I think, the time that you bring it back is when Tron is as bad as Tron gets. And maybe we're at that point now where Tron is, like, on enough of a downswing. Because I think that Cloud Post is essentially just better Tron. Easier Tron. So I expect that it would be essentially just a boost to similar decks, like similar to a Tron deck, except all of a sudden Tron makes even more mana. So I think maybe that would be fine now. Well, I guess we bring in Graveyard Hate. I guess we bring in Mystical Disputes. Ah, those Thoughtseizes. Definitely gained a new respect for Pensive Professor. That card was actually kind of insane. Like, our opponent didn't even combo with it. It was very fair Pensive Professor. And it still Actually, do we even want the mystical disputes? It's good against Pensive Professor. I guess it's okay against Psychic Frog. We probably need the Wistfulness. Yeah, maybe it's the Force. Let's run it like that. Oh no, it's still going. We lost game 1, but game 2 is coming. Man, Gemstone Caverns on the play again. I mean, we gotta keep it. We gotta keep it. We just gotta hit a land. But we have lots of removal. Lots of removal is good. We can kill the silly Pensive Professor. Even maybe a Psychic Frog. Found it untaps. Bloodstained Mire. Crown. Thoughtseize, of course. Because you always draw Thoughtseize. Rito MTG. Opponent Water Grave untapped and Thoughtseize. Our opponent is so good at drawing Thoughtseizes. I got rejected from even getting an interview for a cashier job, but I'm preparing for an interview for an autonometry assistant job. Make it make sense. Nothing makes sense anymore. Empty Megacarp, that is so ridiculous. I'm glad you got something else coming up though. That's exciting. Optometrist assistant. That's actually I have a sister who does that job and kind of loves it. So maybe that'll be a good one. Maybe you'll enjoy it. But yeah, I don't know. How do you not get a callback for a cashier job and then have an interview for an even better job? The whole job market just does not make a whole bunch of sense to me. Found at Marsh Flats. Schwamp. And Psychic Frog. Okay. I mean, we are going to kill that, but we need to wait till our turn. So Misty, we're going to dismember it, and then we'll have Fire Ice if we have to make sure that it's gone. Scalding Tarn. I think we keep that, actually. Hey, do we keep that? Yeah, I think we go Graveyard. Let's go Graveyard. We still should be able to kill the Psychic Frog, which is the most important thing. Getting a green source could be nice. Vibrance. Yeah, Gemstone Caverns when it's not good is so bad. Let's dismember the frog. That thing needs to go. Opponent, gonna let it go. Well, let's pass the turn. Could the Saffron Olive family survive the apocalypse based on you and your siblings having 30 siblings having different jobs? Maybe, actually. Now that you mention it, maybe. Found it. Another Psychic Frog. Man, are we actually just going to cycle an ice here? If we're going to do this, I wish we just done an upkeep. But we kind of need to draw land. Okay, Violent Outburst. That is something. That is something. And there's a land-ish. Although, maybe that's a land we need. Let's just pass. Let's just pass. Actually, do we Violent Outburst now? Maybe we Violent Outburst now? That might be better. Well, I was thinking we were going to be able to use the removal mode to kill a pet. Like, I don't know how much of it's hindsight bias, because we didn't know they were going to miss their land drop. Obviously, if we knew they were going to miss their land drop, tapping a land would be correct. But if instead of a second Psychic Frog, their play was a Pensive Professor, we'd probably be kind of sad that we're not killing it with a fire. So I'm not sure how much of it's hindsight bias. Yeah, doing it now, it could get forced. But can you realistically play force with the amount of thought seizes you're playing? Probably not. At least that many. Yeah, let's try it. Violent Outburst. Crashing Footfalls. Here comes the rhinos. Please no force. No force. Wow. Jeez. Well, life is bad and it's gonna be bad forever, chat. It's gonna be bad forever. I can't even with Arena. I'm in a draft. Oh yeah, there's no way to kill the Psychic Frog with Fire Ice. Pensive Professor. Pensive Professor is a good thing to kill with Fire Ice. But Psychic Frog, yeah, since I can always just discard a card to put a counter on it, 2 damage is... Basically, we'd be trading our 2 mana and a card for a card of our opponent's choice from their hand. Man, and I think that's the game. I think that might be the game. Opponent gets in with the Psychic Frog down to 13, draws a card. We draw. Is Gemstone Caverns worth it? I feel like if this Gemstone Caverns... I think we had multiple games this league where if the Gemstone Caverns was something else, we were probably in great shape. But instead, the Gemstone Caverns is a very sad colorless land. I guess we also had a game where it was good. Really, I guess the Force. The Force was the real issue. The Force was a real problem, and now it's just... With the Oculus, man, they might be right. Like, look at how silly these rhinos look. Look at how silly these rhinos look compared to an Oculus. I don't know. I'm curious, chat. So this is our last game of the league. We're gonna lose it, almost certainly. What is your impression of rhinos? Like, are they just safe now? Like, maybe the Modern Horizon 3 power creep is so high that cascading into rhinos is just not that good. That would be great. I hope that's not the truth, because that would be a wild amount of power creep in 2 years. But my impression is it's pretty safe. Like, even when we do, like, there's tons of answers. We saw Vexing Baubles, we saw Teferis, we saw Consigned to Memories. Like, there's a huge list of things that stop the Cascade plan now that are seeing heavy play for other reasons. And then even when we get the rhinos, our 4/4 is just not as big as our opponent's flying 3-drop that's making a 2/2 every turn. I mean, honestly, the bigger shakeup maybe is the bannings. Like, that's the real question. Is we didn't play against a straight up Boros Energy deck. We did play against one Guided Souls deck, but like, will the bannings lower this number? Will the bannings make it so Boros Energy, the deck that has been at the top of Modern for what, 2 years now, through 2.5 years, however long, but like, did they do enough to actually make that deck not a problem? So maybe that's the hope for a shakeup, is getting rid of Flage. Maybe that makes Energy enough worse that we get something new at the top of the meta, which I think after a couple years of Boros Energy would be awesome. I also think, back to the conversation about, is Modern better than it gets credit for because of the Modern... Oh, there's our red source. Because of the Modern Horizons thing, I feel like Boros Energy not being the best deck in the meta, and just literally being, I mean, very close to just a list of Modern Horizons cards, that might actually go a ways towards salving that perception. Because when the deck people play against most often is literally just a whole bunch of Modern Horizons cards, it seems like that would be easy for people to think of the format in that way. So I think Energy being dethroned would actually be a very positive thing. So we finished with a 2-3, and so my impression of this deck, rhinos, they might not be what they used to be in 2024. I still think, like, it's probably a fine deck, and I think right now, because the bannings just went into effect today, I think, or maybe yesterday afternoon, but because everything's so fresh, I think people have Violent Outburst on their mind and are just very prepared for it. Just the number of, like, Vexing Baubles to Fairies, almost every single opponent we were playing against was playing some really, really strong hate cards, Force Cascade, if not in their main deck, at least in their sideboard, in some in the main deck. So it might also be a case where I remember when, like, Twin was unbanned, and everyone and everyone was just trying out Splinter Twin the first week after it got unbanned. Everyone's playing hate cards for Splinter Twin. So it might be that once the newness wears off, if people realize that Rhinos is not like the new tier 0 in Modern, people start playing less hate, and then the deck is a little more successful because you're not having to fight through as much hate. Living End might be the way. Yeah, Living End might be the way, although Living End still gets got by the same answers for the most part, right? Like, if the issue is hate cards, if the issue is that Rhinos aren't good enough for Modern, then Living End or Glimpse or Restore Balance might be the way. So if that's the issue, I mean, Living End's already like a deck in Modern. It's already like doing relatively well in Modern. So maybe does it? How much does Living End gain even from having instant speed cascade? Like, instant speed is always better than sorcery speed, but if it requires you going into another color, I mean, I think you play it. But I'm curious how good. I mean, I guess we have red Living End decks here already. But how much better does it actually make it? Definitely posted a lot of 5-0s yesterday. Yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how it shakes up. But that's Modern. I will say we played some pretty like long and interesting games. So the games actually felt like relatively fair, relatively interesting. So it seems like Modern might be in an all right place right now. So Domain Footballs has the best version of the deck. Ooh, you like the Leyline Binding plan, eh, Patrick? Interesting. Most of the builds that I've seen so far, and it's only been a day, so it's super early, but it seems like the builds that 5-0'd yesterday were not going the Domain plan, but the Domain plan was pretty popular towards the end of Violent Outburst before it got banned last time, so maybe that will be the place we end up again. I don't know, but we might play some more Modern in the future. This was actually a pretty, even though we finished 2 and 3, I felt like it was a pretty fun league. So Badger, I'm sure. So I know, Badger, next week we're doing a viewer battle stream, so it's not going to be Modern, but there probably will be more Modern on occasion. I'm sure we will see more Modern. Just don't be upset if like a week from now we haven't done more Modern, so yes, I'm sure we'll do more Modern, but I don't think it's going to be every week or anything necessarily. But this was a fun enough league that I would like to play some more. So anyway, everyone, I think that's our stream for today. So reminders on the way out the door. Replay YouTube for the old streams. Yeah, I'm also interested in trying out the Frog deck. We didn't get to see the full combo, but the idea of comboing with Pensive Professor is very interesting to me. So maybe that'll be one we end up playing. So check out the replay YouTube. Check out the normal YouTube. One more shout out to our sponsor, Card Kingdom, if you need some magic cards. You can get them at cardkingdom.com/MTGGoldfish. Most importantly, thank you to all of you. You're amazing. You're awesome. I hope you have an amazing week. Have a great day. And again, if you would like to sign up for the viewer battle stream, send me a message, send me on email, let me know the format you want to play, let me know your arena info, and we'll get you on the list for next week. So until then, everyone, be good. I love you. Have an amazing day, and I will talk to you soon.